starting off very well for the Oakland A's.
We've got to get this crowd back into the game.
The Tigers have taken game one.
Verlander on the mound. This guy is nasty. Tonight is such a big game.
American League Division coverage on TBS is presented by T-Mobile. We welcome you to O.co Coliseum in Oakland, California. It's game 2 of the American League Division Series between the Detroit Tigers and the Oakland A's as the Tigers took game 1 of the series. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo along with Dennis Eckersley and Buck Martinez. David Aldridge will join us in a moment. Well, last night the Tigers took game 1 of the series in a big way. They got great pitching, 16 strikeouts along the way. And tonight they roll out one of the game's best in Justin Verlander.
Well, this year's been a subpar year for Justin Verlander, you know, the elite pitcher that he is. But the Oakland A's know very well how tough he can be. Last year knocked them out of the playoffs, winning game 1 and shutting them out in game 5. He punched out 22 guys in 16 innings. They know they've got a tough customer tonight. And on the other side of the field, Sonny Gray, 23-year-old, making his 11th career start. The problem is here, no one really knows what he's going to do with this adrenaline, and nobody really knows what's going to happen tonight. One thing is for sure, the A's need this game badly.
They certainly do, and one thing is for sure, the Oakland A's in 2013 have been a very resilient bunch, and tonight in Game 2, Buck, they need to be.
Well, they sure do, Don, and this ball club bounces back very well after losses. They lost 2 in a row, only one since late August, and Bob Melvin's got some leaders on the field. What they need is a big hit. Josh Reddick gave him a great play at the plate last night. He threw out a runner. Josh Townsend's had an MVP season. Brandon Moss can get a big hit. And Coco Crisp is the igniter. Cespedes swinging the bat hot right now. They can get back in this series.
Last night was a terrific atmosphere here at O.co Coliseum. Expecting much the same tonight. It's Game 2, and it's on TBS next.
Pitching this evening for the Athletics, having concluded his warm-up tosses, number 54,
We welcome you back to O.co Coliseum, where the weather is fantastic again tonight for Game 2 of the series. 78 degrees. The breeze northwest at 6 miles per hour, and more of the same is anticipated for the remainder of the night. The forecast is clear here tonight in Oakland, as it was last night. As we get ready for Game 2 of the series, we check in with the fourth member of our broadcast team, David Aldridge.
Well, Don, Justin Verlander's numbers were down from 2011 when he did win the AL Cy Young and MVP awards. But as Bob Melvin told us before the game tonight, a lot of pitchers would kill to have that kind of a down season. Of course, Verlander did win Game 5 here in the ALDS last year, and he says the louder and more obnoxious the A's fans are, the more he wants the ball.
It doesn't get any more fun than that. You know, standing on the mound with however many people they're going to have here, 50, 60,000, yelling at you, trying to do everything that they can. You know, everybody in this ballpark's yelling when I'm on the mound to try to get me out of my game. And, you know, that's the fun part of it. You know, you just got to be able to focus and execute your pitches.
Verlander says he does hear the fans here at O.co Coliseum, but it's kind of an ambient sound, sort of like when you fall asleep in front of a fan. He says he thinks he'll be able to execute his pitches and do very well here. And, of course, if that happens tonight, Don, the Tigers in all likelihood will be going home with a 2-0 series lead.
Well, David will be trying to do what Max Scherzer was able to do here last night for the Tigers in Game 1 of the series. As the Oakland A's take the field here tonight at O.co Coliseum, let's check out the visiting Tigers starting lineup. Here's the batting order is brought to you by T-Mobile. Austin Jackson leads it off in center field with Torrey Hunter batting second in right field. Miguel Cabrera, the batting title for the third straight season, is at third base, with Prince Fielder at first base at 25 home runs during the regular season. Victor Martinez, the DH, with Alex Avila doing the catching. It is Omar Infante at second base. In addition to tonight's Tigers lineup, Don Kelly is in left field, he bats eighth, and Jose Iglesias at shortstop bats ninth. Sonny Gray makes his 11th appearance in the major leagues, and he has got to be nervous, Dennis Eckersley.
He has got to be feeling it. A 23-year-old kid, 11 starts in the big leagues. I mean, the Oakland A's love this kid. You know, he's going to be a star of the future, but they want him to be a star tonight because this is such a big game. And you see the numbers. The numbers are all there. The fastball's there. He goes close to 95 miles an hour. But the big pitch for him is that signature hook. And he's going to make his mark with that, do or die. But this is such a huge game for the Oakland A's to have a game like that on this kid's shoulders.
Yeah, man, he has the confidence to pound that strike zone. First inning is going to be huge. We saw that last night with Bartolo Colon. His catcher, Stephen Vogt's going to try to get the curveball in quickly to establish that he can throw it for strikes. That's going to be a real key to his outing tonight.
Now, one thing Max Scherzer was able to do is take this crowd out of it last night for a lot of last night's game, which is not easy to do because it was better than 48,000 here last night. They were loud. They're back again and trying to get the A's going tonight in Game 2.
Take a look at the A's defensively behind Sonny Gray. In the outfield, it's Cespedes, Crisp, and Reddick. Reddick threw around Victor Martinez with a terrific throw to the plate. He won a Gold Glove last year. On the infield, left side of the infield is very good. Josh Donaldson has great range. Ed Lowry catches everything he gets to. Eric Sogard's at second. Brandon Moss gets the start tonight at first base and the battery. Stephen Vogt caught Sonny Gray a lot when they were together in Sacramento in AAA. He knows him well. Changing the defense tonight is Brandon Moss, who's at first base. Last night, he was the DH.
Austin Jackson stands in, and Sonny Gray's first pitch of the ball game is in there for strike one, and we're underway. Austin Jackson was 1 for 4 in the game last night and totaled a .272 batting average during the regular season. Has some pop from the top of their order. 12 home runs as he takes a pitch down low.
You know, it's got to be an advantage. I think it's an advantage if you've never faced the team before. And then, you know, you can watch all the tape you want, but you have to see the guy in true life form to see what that curveball break is like, his velocity, how his fastball moves. You got to throw strikes, this kid.
And Buck, and listening to Jim Leyland before the game, that's exactly what they've been doing, is watching a lot of video trying to get caught up on Sonny Gray.
Yeah, Jim Leyland's team has been watching video for 2 days, but it's not like stepping in the box to get a real feel for his release point and to see if you can pick up the spin on that great curveball he throws.
And Jackson swinging away, and he fouls it off Vogt. 2-2.
Veteran hitters love to have at-bats against pitchers, and they've never faced Sonny Gray, so they don't have much to fall back on. So this is kind of like a surveying trip for Austin Jackson for the rest of the lineup.
He'll be the first to face him tonight. And a count of 2-2 here with Torrey Hunter waiting on deck. And a swing and a miss. Good start for Sonny Gray.
That's what I'm talking about right there. This kid throws 4 fastballs, and he puts them away with this 12-6 breaking ball that falls off the table. He's going to have a good night there if he can get to 2 strikes and put guys away like that. No one's seen a curveball like this for a while.
Yeah, that was the game plan, to get that curveball into the mix very early.
And one down here for Torrey Hunter. A great season for the Tigers in his first year in Detroit. And at .304 during the regular season. Was 1 for 3 here last night as part of the Tigers' victory in Game 1 of the series. And Sonny Gray made his Major League debut back on July 10th, and it was in relief. In fact, his first 2 appearances came out of the bullpen for the Oakland A's.
That was a great plan by Oakland. They brought him up from AAA, aware that they were going to use him out of the pen just to get him set up for his first Major League start. So he got a feel for the game. He was part of the team. Then after those 2 relief appearances, they sent him back to AAA and called him up a few weeks later, and he made his debut as a starter.
And went on to make 10 starts, won his last 3 decisions. Here's a ground ball to short. Lowry on the run and in time, 2 down. So 2 away here for Sonny Gray. It brings up Miguel Cabrera. The late defensive change in last night's game by Jim Leland to sit Cabrera, and something he may do again tonight. Cabrera's legs certainly not underneath him. He's had groin problems, hip problems, you name it, headed down the stretch. And it was pretty obvious seeing him get around last night that he is not close to 100%.
Especially on that ground ball to Donaldson. He flubbed it up a little bit, took a long time to throw, and he got him out easily, or he would have been an error on Donaldson, and they would have had something going on.
And Sonny Gray made 6 starts at home and was 3-1 in those 6 starts, posting a 1.99 earned run average. Let's not forget this guy was a first-round pick, 18th overall for the Oakland A's in 2011. One of 5 pitchers selected in the first round that year who have now pitched in the majors,
including the first pick, Garrett Cole of the Pirates.
This is into left center field, and a base hit from Miguel Cabrera. Over his Cespedes to play it, but it's a 2-out single for Miguel Cabrera, first base runner of the night.
We've only seen 1 curveball tonight. They saw Jackson punching out on it, but all fastballs, and Cabrera knows what to do with the fastball regardless how hard you throw it.
Yeah, it doesn't take him long to get up to speed on what he's dealing with, and he's got great hands. The concern for Jim Leland is his ball club hasn't knocked it out of the ballpark in quite a while. They have really had problems driving the ball lately.
And here's Prince Fielder, who was 1 for 4 in last night's contest, as he takes a look at ball 1. Fielder with 25 home runs during the regular season, had 106 runs batted in.
Brandon Moss can play behind Cabrera, and that'll give him more range with the left-handed hitter because Cabrera's not running at all.
You see the changeup there. It's not that big of a difference between his fastball and his changeup, 88 miles an hour. But Prince is going to have to go deep to drive in Cabrera.
And Cabrera said, I'm going to steal it. And Moss said, go ahead. We don't think you can do it.
Fielder fouls it back to the screen. It's amazing how Prince has been so consistent over the years. He played all 162 games this year for the 3rd straight season. Missed only 1 game over the past 5 seasons, playing 809 of the possible 810 games.
Yeah, he takes the same type of attitude as Cal Ripken did when he played. Hey, I'm a ball player. I'm supposed to play. So you come to a park ready to go to work.
chops this off the plate as Gray will run it down. He'll flip to first for the out that ends the top of the first inning. Unlike last night, the Tigers don't score in the first. The A's are coming up. Tigers don't score in the top half of the first inning. The Oakland A's coming up here in the bottom of the first inning, and their batting order is brought to you by T-Mobile. Coco Crisp leading it off in center field. Jed Lowry at shortstop at second for the A's. Josh Donaldson at third base with Brandon Moss at first base in the cleanup spot. Yoenis Cespedes, who homered last night, in left. Seth Smith, the addition to the A's order tonight, with Josh Reddick in right field batting seventh. Stephen Vogt does the catching. He bats eighth, and Eric Sogard at second base bats ninth. And on the mound tonight is Justin Verlander, who gets the nod here in game two.
Well, for Justin Verlander, he had like a subpar year, to say the least. You know, you wonder about the innings piling up on him. 7 years in a row, 200 innings. But how would you like to follow Scherzer's act? What he did last night, the nasty stuff that he has, Verlander obviously right there with him. But last year, what he did to the A's, boy, they owe him big time. 2 wins, a shutout the last time out.
13 wins, a 3.46 ERA, worst totals in those categories since 2008. As Crisp fouls this off, and he jumps on that first pitch. Not a surprise there for Coco Crisp. Jumping on that first pitch. He started last year's ALDS with a bang, as he was able to homer off Justin Verlander.
Miguel Cabrera is hampered by that abdominal strain, and you can see where he's playing right now. He doesn't really expect Chris to bunt, but he wants to discourage him from even having thoughts about it because he can't move around so well. Jim Leyland knows that they don't bunt a lot. Chris will bunt from time to time, but Cabrera, because he's not very mobile down there battling those injuries he's having to deal with, he's trying to really discourage Oakland from any thoughts whatsoever of dropping down a bunt.
Crisp will take the 1-1 for strike 2.
You wonder what the approach will be by the A's. You know, you want to get pitch count up. I mean, you know, saw what last night, 16 punch-outs last night, you know, and started off the game, Coco, a 3-2 pitch he took right down the middle. I think tonight they'll have a different approach. I think they're going to swing the bats a little bit more tonight.
And Coco's certainly very patient last night. A couple of walks against Scherzer as he grounds this one down the first baseline, a foul ball.
Chili Davis, the hitting coach for the Athletics, believes that Verlander is going to take the same approach that Scherzer did last night, in that he's going to use the fastball early. Davis believes that it was so effective for Scherzer that Verlander can come out and use the same kind of approach, jump on that fastball, see if Oakland can handle it, and if they don't, just continue to pour that fastball in there.
Verlander 4-0 with a 0.60 earned run average in his last 4 starts at O.co Coliseum here in Oakland. 3 regular season games plus the 1 postseason game. He pitched here last year, of course, went game 5 of last year's ALDS. The 1-2. That'll miss ball 2, 2-2.
Verlander, he will feature everything. He'll throttle that fastball. You can go from 92 to 98. A lot like Scherzer. He'll change up, hook.
Bouncing in for ball 3, full count.
He has featured everything to Coco in this first at bat. Everything.
It's really interesting, too. And pitchers generally want to get every pitch into the mix early. But the fastball was so good last night against his A's team. I'm surprised he hasn't used the fastball a little more.
Payoff pitch to Crisp. And it's in the air to left field. Don Kelly back a step or 2, and he'll put it away for the first out here in the bottom of the first inning. So Crisp a lengthy at bat, but he flies out to left. And that'll bring up Jed Lowry. Now you wonder about all these innings and all these games, deep into games for Justin Verlander over the years, whether or not that has impacted what has led to what has been a very up and down season for him in 2013.
When you really look at it, he's had 15 starts in which he's held the opponents to 2 runs or less. Just a 6-2 record. So he has the ability to win 18, 19 games if they score many runs.
Well, he's thrown the ball well the last month of the season. Like you said, he hasn't gotten any wins. The last 6 starts, he's been pretty much lights out and only won 1 game.
And think about the last couple of years, though, leading the American League in innings pitched in 2011, 2012, and then the so-so season in 2013. As he gets that one by Lowry. Still finished 4th in the American League in strikeouts at 217. 5th straight season with at least 200, but his lowest total in the last 5 years. Lowry tardy on that cut. 95 on the fastball.
You know, 2 good fastballs back to back to Lowry. Lowry had some bad swings last night. Everybody did off of Scherzer, but the fastball looks like it's right by him.
Lowry strikes out looking. First strikeout of the night for Verlander. 2 down here in the bottom of the first inning.
You see the fastball by Verlander. Starts it inside. Catches the inside corner. I don't know if that's a 2-seamer or not. 95 is a little too fast for a 2-seamer, but it's true all the way inside. CB rings him up.
And that's what they expected. Scherzer should use the fastball until the A's make him change. They only had 3 hits last night. They're going to swing the bats better.
And 2 down for Josh Donaldson, who was 0 for 4 in last night's game. Kept quiet after a terrific regular season. Let's take a look at ball 1 outside. One of the breakout players of 2013, led the A's with his .301 batting average and 93 RBIs. 3rd on the team in home runs with 24 during the regular season. He will lift it in the air, right side into shallow right, and Fonte coming out, and he'll make the catch over the shoulder with Hunter coming in. It's a 1-2-3 first for Verlander, done with 1 without a score from Oakland. Innovative stat brought to you by Nissan. We're going to take a look at strikeouts per plate appearance, and Victor Martinez is second in that category, 10.8, behind Alberto Callaspo, also on the roster for the Oakland A's coming in. Ian Kinsler, the Texas Rangers, at 10.4. As Victor leads it off here in the top half of the second inning. Talked about it last night. Missed all of 2012, the left knee injury. Rebounded and played a career high 159 games in 2013, and many times in this capacity as the Tigers DH, as he takes a look at ball one. Martinez, Avila, and Infante to bat here in the second inning for the Tigers. Look at the numbers for Martinez, who is very much missed by the Tigers last year. Of course, was not part of the postseason either. So he fights it off foul.
Had a great second half. He had a 103-point improvement in the second half compared to his first half batting average. And Victor Martinez has regained the confidence that he's had throughout his career at the plate. You mentioned his ability to cut down on strikeouts. He hit 233 with 2 strikes, and he got 2 hits last night when he had 2 strikes on the count.
He made 3 starts behind the plate for the Tigers this season. As he'll take the breaking ball in there for a strike.
That is a knee buckler breaking ball. We've seen 2 of them tonight, both dynamite. One in the dirt with a swing and a miss by Jackson, and that one for a strike.
Down and in, and it's 2-2.
You see Stephen Vogt, just before he got set into that catching crouch, he tapped his glove on dirt to remind Sonny Gray, bounce it if you have to. We've got 2 strikes. We might get a chase swing right here. Vogt has caught him a lot. They were together in AAA in Sacramento, so he knows Sonny Gray very well.
Two pitch. One gets away as it is a full count. Kind of slipped out of his hand. And for Victor Martinez, coming off a season where he had a career high 182 hits, beating his previous high by 1. He's back in 2006 as a member of the Cleveland Indians. Martinez taps it foul and stays alive.
I remember back with the Indians when he first broke in, he had a hard time catching. Yeah, he really did. And everybody knew he can hit, but he worked on his catching and he got better at it. And you see now he has the knee injury and he doesn't catch anymore. But I think when they first got him, they didn't think he was just going to DH all the time.
Well, he's caught just 9 games since joining the Detroit Tigers for the Tigers. Their 5-hitter for the Tigers all season long. And another foul off to the left out of play.
And that good curveball is going to give Sonny Gray the advantage of making his fastball look 2 or 3 miles an hour quicker, because you can't get out there and get on that fastball with that curveball in the back of your mind. So even though his fastball's 94 right now, it appears to be 95 to 97 because of that good hook.
Can't afford to throw a ball right now. So that good hook is out the window. With fastball in.
And Martinez chops it. Sogard at second base. Off balance toss and plenty of time. One down here in the second inning. On the ground out, Sogard showing some pretty good range. And here's the Chevrolet pitch tracks.
He's pretty much 2-pitch pitcher. You know, you're not going to throw very many change-ups. I think he will develop that as he goes deeper in his career. Not a big kid, only about 5'10". People talk that he reminds them of Tim Hudson. Everybody knows who Tim Hudson is. Had a great career.
And down here for Alex Avila. No kidding with Jim Leland that he kind of kind of jinxed him last night before the game. Said hadn't been hit in the head very much since he changed masks. And what happens? He gets hit twice very hard last night.
He got smoked last night. 2 foul tips right in the mask, and it even forced him to use a heavier mask tonight.
Avila in last night's game collected 2 hits, was 2 for 4. Part of the attack last night for the Tigers in game 1. And Gray here falls behind 3-0.
Now, what you need to do as a catcher for Sonny Gray right now is shoot for the big part of the plate. He's got a lot of run on his fastball early in this game. You can't get too fine, and you'll force him to pitch from behind. Just shoot for the middle of the plate and let that fastball work.
And a 4-pitch walk here to Avila. First free pass served up by Sonny Gray, and it comes with 1 out here in the 2nd inning.
That's the thing when you're a young kid like that. Your cross-seam fastball even moves. You know, and it runs like it's a 2-seamer, but no, it's a fastball that he goes in, goes out. I mean, he doesn't really know what it's going to do. And that's a good thing, but sometimes it can work against you.
Yeah, and the catcher has to pick up on that. You can give location, but sit in the middle. Pitchers are going to think they're throwing to the corners, but as long as you're sitting in the middle, they're going to throw to the glove. So you have to take charge here and get him back into the strike zone quickly.
Vogt out there to talk to him briefly. Now back in behind the dish as Omar Infante stands in. And this one fouled off and hits the on deck batter, Don Kelly. That's a Tiger waiting on deck.
You think you're safe over there on deck, but you're really not.
Look out.
Look out. You have no time. Hit the ground. It wasn't a bullet.
Yeah, you don't even expect anything to come your way.
And he's infield at double play depth as Infante fouls this one off Vogt. Put him on the leg. And it's 0-2.
Rough around home plate right now.
Yes, it is.
Once again, this hook that he throws, that 12-6 going down, foul tip.
The 0-2 pitch to Infante. And they won't chase that as it's down and away. It'll lay off, and it's 1-2 now to Infante.
When you throw a hard curveball like Sonny Gray throws, you got to have the ultimate confidence in your catcher's ability to block the ball. You don't want to be tentative when you throw that. You'll hang it, leave it out over the plate, and it'll get whacked.
Infante swings and misses and strikes out. Kind of changed his mind in the middle and tried to hold up. Second strikeout for Gray, 2 down.
A little steady diet of breaking balls by Sonny Gray. He's not saving it for later on in the game. He needs it right now, and he throws his best hook in the dirt. Infante's seen many of them this at bat, but can't hold up. Funky swing.
What makes that curveball so effective is it comes out of his hand at the same angle as his fastball. There's no hump in the curveball when it comes out of his hand.
And 2 down here in the 2nd inning. Avila at first, and here's Don Kelly. The only addition for the Tigers in their starting 9.
You don't want a hump in your curveball. You want hump in your fastball.
Humping the curveball's a red flag to hitters. They see that ball coming out of your hand going up. They know it's a hook.
It's down and in. Kelly getting most of his starts against right-handed pitching this season, and here he is. And only 168 at bats versus 48 against lefties. And all 6 of his home runs coming off right-handed pitching. So here he is for Jim Leyland. And the lineup tonight took over defensively in last night's game in left field.
Jim Leyland told us before the game, he said, we don't know much about Sonny Gray, but we hope we're getting a nervous rookie. So far, no signs of nerves whatsoever from Sonny Gray.
Just off the outside edge. 2-2.
Feeling pretty good about himself right now. If he can put Kelly away, he'll be feeling much better.
He'll work his way around a walk in this inning. Ground ball and diving at first as Moss can't get it in short right field. Sogard sliding on the grass, able to get it and fire it back in from his backside, and no further advance for Avila, and a base hit for Don Kelly.
Almost the identical ground ball as Alex Avila hit last night in the third inning. It went under the first baseman's glove. Last night it was Derek Barton at first. Tonight it's Brandon Moss, and it just chips off his glove. Sogard coming over, he's able to keep it on the infield and keep Avila from going to third. But last night it ended up an infield hit and an RBI for Alex Avila.
A few of the Oakland A's infielders talking about the speed of the infield and how hard it is right now after the Oakland Raiders have played here.
Yeah, as Jed Lowry said, it's really a lot quicker since the football season has opened up.
Jose Iglesias, who had an 0-for-4 game last night, takes strike one. Iglesias, who hit .303, his combined numbers during the regular season between Boston and Detroit. And very good in this situation with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Grounded to third. Tagging third is Donaldson on the force shot to end the top of the second inning. Through an inning and a half from Oakland, no score. National League Division Series coverage continues tomorrow on TBS with the pregame show at 3:30 Eastern. Then it is Game 3, St. Louis Cardinals against Pittsburgh Pirates. Series tied 1-1 as it is Joe Price matched up against Francisco Liriano. Followed by Game 3 between the Braves and Dodgers. Series tied 1-1. And both very good series so far as we head here to the bottom of the second inning back in Game 2 of the American League Division Series. Brandon Moss, Yoenis Cespedes, and Seth Smith to bat here for the A's. After Justin Verlander on 13 pitches retired the side in order in the first inning. Now Brandon Moss getting the start at first base defensively tonight. He had been the DH in last night's game. Seth Smith is the DH in tonight's game, and Derek Barton ends up on the bench in game 2 for the A's. And a swing and a miss. Moss badly fooled.
First pitch changeup, just like Scherzer last night, and Verlander used the fastball to close out the first. He struck out Jed Lowry for the second out of the inning, but fastball changeup was magical for Scherzer last night.
Yeah, we were talking before the game about following up Scherzer. You know, you can't have a better changeup than Scherzer. He was throwing the ball. He could throw it middle, and they still look funny swinging through it. I like to follow somebody that's not throwing that great. You know what I mean? I want to. And you see that hook. I mean, he's got much better hook. You talk about the arsenal of pitches that Verlander has compared to Scherzer. He's got more options to go to, but Scherzer's got 2 dynamite pitches.
Yeah, and he used them. He threw 35 changeups last night, the most he's thrown all season.
Elevating, and Moss strikes out. He goes to the fastball and picks up his second K of the night. First out here of the second inning. For Justin Verlander, here's the Chevrolet pitch tracks.
I'll tell you what, you saw everything in that at bat to Moss. Start him off with a changeup, a hook, and blew him away with a high fastball. But you see, you'd think he threw more fastballs. And as years go on, he's throwing more and more off-speed stuff. He dials it up when he wants to, like we saw from Scherzer last night after the triple by Cespedes. He came out and punched out Reddick on about a 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
Buck, the thing that amazes me about Verlander over the years is that he gets into the later innings and it seems like he dials it up even to another notch, and all of a sudden he's breaking out 96, 97 very late in his outings.
Yeah, a couple of years ago he no-hit the Blue Jays early in May of 2011. He threw 7 pitches over 100 miles an hour, and it was late in the game, and he reached back for extra. He's got that kind of ability. He doesn't need to do it as often now because he's developed the changeup and the ability to get the curveball over, but he can hit triple digits on a given night.
He's retired the first 4 Oakland A's that he has faced here tonight in game 2. And he was with Yoenis Cespedes. Cespedes last night hit a home run to 2-run shots playing the offense for the A's.
See the pitch right there. You don't see a lot of sliders from Verlander. People talk about Verlander saving it for the postseason. How do you pace yourself over the season for the postseason? No such thing.
Foul back to the screen, and it's 2-2.
Now, there's too much pride on the line. You go out there and try to give your best every time. This guy was a Cy Young and MVP 2 years ago. And he's a guy that goes out there every 5th day, and he's got the potential to throw a no-hitter anytime he goes to the mound. He is that dominant. It's been a down season for him, which is 13 wins, but you look at his ERA at 3.46, and a lot of guys would love to have that ERA for a full season.
Full count now.
Cespedes wants to hit that fastball. He is all over every fastball that he has seen. Last night he crushed that ball off Scherzer. Really the only mistake he made all night.
Cespedes hits it in the air to right field where Torrey Hunter is waiting. And he puts it away for out number 2. So a 2-way here in the second inning, and that'll bring up Seth Smith.
Good time for another slider right there. 3-2. He's geared up for that fastball. Had him out front a little bit.
And Smith getting the start tonight. He's not in the ball game last night. He's the DH tonight for Bob Melvin. Smith hit under 10 home runs for the first time in a full season. Does have power. Of course, had a career high of 17 with Colorado in 2010.
Another example of how Bob Melvin gets everybody involved and everybody feels like they're a part of it.
They can match up with anybody. You get late into a ball game or any given time, and you're managed against this club. They go straight to the bench. They can do anything you want. Right, left, right, left. Everybody's played. Everybody's got at bats. Nobody's been sitting down.
That's the thing. When somebody goes down for the Oakland A's, they get enough guys who have played a lot coming off the bench, and they can just step in.
Verlander wanted that. Threw him a 2-0 changeup. Kind of looked in there at CB like he needed that.
Instead, he's behind here, 3-0 to Smith. There's a strike. Smith taking all the way.
Yeah, the more you see from Verlander as a hitter, the better chance you have to catch up to him. And with Smith now 3-1 count, he's got a pretty good idea where that ball's coming out. He's got the release point down. So now he's keyhole and trying to do some damage here.
A swing and a miss. Fastball by him, full count.
Boy, that looked harder. Didn't it look
yes,
like it was 100? And it's only 94.
Jelly Davis was talking about that with Scherzer last night, how he has that little flip of the wrist right at the end to give him that good finish.
Wristy cheese is what it is.
Strike three call, and he is rung up on a pitch that appeared to be off the plate by C.B. Buckner. The Verlanders retired the first 6. Borderline call there in a scoreless game from Oakland in Game 2.
Hey, check.
Scoreless through 2 innings, and gentlemen, that did not appear to be a strike 10 last inning.
Well, this 3-2 pitch to Seth Smith is down and away, clearly down and away. And you see the delayed strike 3 call. He just thought about it for a fraction of a second. earlier in the count, he didn't give him that 2-0 changeup down and away, and then he gave him that to punch out Smith.
Looked like it was off the plate, and that's why Smith was arguing the case.
And so was Bob Melvin, who came out there between innings, and C.B. Buckner was quick to tell him, you can't come out here and talk to me about balls and strikes.
Yeah, Bob Melvin came out and was actually at home plate, and C.B. Buckner did a good thing. He turned his back to Bob Melvin and says, Bob, you can't come out here and argue balls and strikes. He said, I'm not. I just wanted to say hi. Didn't get a chance to see you earlier.
I mean, during the season, you're gone.
Yeah. So good on CB to turn his back, and this is after the strikeout. Melvin came out, and you could see CB Buckner saying, oh, you can't come out here and talk to me about that. But Buckner does a good thing. He turns his back on Melvin and says, hey, you can't argue balls and strikes. You better get back to the dugout.
I think CB knew that he missed it, and I think he said, I'm sorry. I don't know if that was for sure or not, but during the season, you would be gone. You cannot argue balls and strikes.
No, you can't even come out of the dugout. And C.B. Buckner did a good thing by turning his back on Melvin and say, hey, you can't argue that. I'm going to turn my back and just go back to the dugout. But that ball appeared to be down and away.
I got to have it. Need it.
Austin Jackson leading it off here in the third inning. Takes a pitch outside. For Sonny Gray, 65% fastballs.
And that changeup will develop over the years.
That breaking ball is in capital letters. It's a hammer.
And strike three over the outside corner. Second time Austin Jackson is down by way of the K.
This ball looks like it's a little off the plate outside. Little makeup call, strike three to Jackson. Once again, as a pitcher, you want that. It makes pitching a lot easier.
I'm sure it does.
Doesn't it? You don't have to throw strikes. Isn't that great?
That would make it a lot easier.
Yeah, if you get pitches that aren't strikes, I would think it'd make it very easy. Torrey Hunter stands in. He grounded out to shortstop first time up.
Again, this is very important. Second time through the order. The Tigers have a little bit more information than they did in their first at bat. So I still think Sonny Gray has to be aggressive. Pitch to the big part of the plate early. Put that curveball in their mind. You're going to get some chase swings.
Wakes up Torrey Hunter as that's coming in.
Yeah, he didn't like that at all.
Points out at him.
Like, careful. I don't like it head high. Get that ball down. Scared him.
Yeah, it did scare him. It surprised him.
Yes.
And again, they don't know Sonny Gray at all. So you don't know if there's intent there or not. But still, it's around your head, and that's a frightening pitch for any hitter.
Sonny Gray does not have a hit batter in the majors or in the minors this season. 182 and a third innings pitched. Swinging for the downs there was Hunter, but it's by him.
That's the best way to answer that challenge by Torrey Hunter. Come right back and throw a good fastball.
But that scared him. It really did. He was just trying to get a look at this kid, and all of a sudden he throws one at his chest.
And a grounder foul outside of third.
As it turns out, it wasn't that close.
No.
That's why you knew that it frightened him, and he reacted to it.
I give credit to the young man for coming in, too, in these situations. Swing and a miss, and Hunter strikes out. Back-to-back Ks for Gray here in the third.
Well, he got him all fired up. That kid threw that ball as hard as he's thrown the ball all night.
Well, I think we've seen Sonny Gray might get beat here tonight, but he's not going to be intimidated. He's going to come right after this veteran lineup.
If I had his gas, I'd come after people, too. He's 5'10", but he can get it up there.
And the two down here for Miguel Cabrera has one of two Tigers hits on the night. So he singled to left field in the first inning. Fouls it off to the right, out of play.
I think the less that he shows his hook, the better.
Yeah.
I really do. And We saw it in the first inning, right, to Jackson. He punched him out on a 2-2 pitch, but we haven't seen a lot of hooks. He threw some hooks to Infante, back to back to back.
Yeah, he's already planted that seed that he's got a good hook.
You see that ball's got run on it. I don't think he's trying to. I bet you that's a cross-seam fastball that ends up sinking.
You saw Torrey Hunter and Victor Martinez. They're trying to spread out the information as quickly as they can. Nobody has a lot of knowledge about Sonny Gray, so they're all trying to get their heads together. Okay, what do you see? Where do you see the spin? And can you pick it up quickly?
Well, Cabrera could not. He's badly fooled and down 1-2.
I mean, that is a great advantage for a kid that throws this good, that's got the nasty stuff. You see the curveball that he makes Cabrera look a little silly. He nods his head like, okay, now I've seen your breaking ball.
In the air down the right field line. Reddick heads into foul ground and will not have a play. Took his eye off that ball and then changed direction to go back after it, but it ends up in the seats.
Reddick telling his infielders, I need help right now, anything in the air. It's still twilight here, and he's really not picking up the ball that well, and that's why he gave that circle motion. Hey, help me out, anything in the air.
The 1-2 again. And a swing and a miss. That one's by him at 96 miles an hour. What is it really like in the broadcast booth? Go behind the scenes of what goes into a TBS MLB broadcast with the impeccable Ernie Johnson on a classic Behind the Mic, powered by Ford. Watch the segment after the game at BleacherReport.com/Behind the Mic. Pretty impressive inning for Sonny Gray. A 1-2-3 inning in the third as he strikes out the side in succession.
So far the forecast is right on the money. Sonny with strikeouts. Boy, he doesn't look intimidated one bit. And I saw him make his first major league start against the Blue Jays, and he pounded the strike zone. He is not intimidated. He trusts his stuff, and we've seen that early on tonight.
He's had 5 Ks. Verlander's retired the first 6 batters, 3 strikeouts, and here's Josh Reddick to get it started here in the bottom of the third inning for the Oakland A's. Reddick 0 for 4 in last night's game, a .226 regular season batting average.
Reddick had a ton of trouble the first half of the season. Then he finally came back. He had the wrist problem all year long. And then all of a sudden he went off in Toronto. Didn't you see him hit, 5 home runs in a heartbeat up in a series up there?
He's had a tough time in the postseason. In 21 career postseason at bats, he struck out 13 times.
That just speaks to the quality of pitching you're seeing in the postseason. We've seen so many great hitters, and you can talk about Barry Bonds and A-Rod and all those guys. Postseason, you're facing 1s and 2s almost every game.
Good take there. And it's 3-1. He started the season as a number 3 hitter. Ended up being on the 7th spot, and that's where he is tonight. Fouls it back, full count.
Again, there's a pitch at 93, and you say, well, why didn't he hit it? Because there's that good finish. It's upstairs, and it's tough to get on top of that. Just that little finish with his hand where he gets that ball and flips his wrist at the end. Creates that late skip.
Reddick lifts it down the left field line. On the run is Cabrera into foul ground, and he'll get there. Lots of foul ground here at O.co Coliseum, and Reddick is retired for the first out of the third inning. In between innings, you had the chance to talk to Jim Leland. All right, Jim, well, you have had the chance to watch Verlander all year long. How does he look so far to you tonight?
Oh, he's fine. He's attacking the strike zone. He's getting down, playing downhill pretty good. So he looks fine so far.
Jimmy, looks difficult, this kid. You've never seen him before. You were hoping he'd have some jitters. Well, you see the last inning, he had some gas.
Yeah, well, he's not nervous at all, and you can tell he's aggressive, and he knows what he's doing. He's got good stuff, he's got a good fastball to go along with that real good curveball. So we just got to get the curveball in the strike zone. If we don't swing it in the dirt, we might be all right. But if we swing at that one that goes in the dirt, we'll be in trouble.
Jim Leland watching Sonny Gray and watching Justin Verlander so far tonight, and Verlander's retired the first 7 for Jim Leland as Stephen Vogt stands in.
We just saw that pop up there to Cabrera. We were talking to Jimmy before the game. He was saying, I was concerned about defense last night. Late in that game, he brought in Santiago. He didn't know when to bring him in because he was worried that Cabrera can't chase anything down the line. I mean, there's so much foul territory here. We've seen him play up on trying to take a bunt away from, Coco. The more difficult spot is all the foul territory. How's he going to get it? And that sort of tested him there, that last pop-up.
And the concern also last night was just a 1-run game. Could end up in a tie game and then be without Cabrera in your lineup if you go into extra innings. Want to stay away from that also. So some tough decisions last night for Jim Leland.
Yeah, he had a tough decision when he had a chance to pinch run for Victor Martinez in the game late in the 8th inning. He said, I can't take Victor Martinez and Miguel Cabrera out. What if they tie it up? Then I've got 2 extra players in important parts of the lineup. So he had to stick with Victor Martinez, and it really didn't come into play as they left him stranded at second. But he said, I can't make all of these switches when I want to because I have Cabrera who's dinged up at third.
1-2 pitch is in there for strike 3. It freezes Vogt, and there's the 4th strikeout of the night for Verlander.
Once again, a pitcher's pitch by Verlander, a hook that just caught the outside part of the outside corner, but this could have gone either way. I'd have a problem with that if I was Vogt.
You see the move by Avila there at the end to kind of frame it quickly for C.B. Bucknor.
Now, I think the biggest thing a catcher can do on a pitch like that is don't move your glove an awful lot. If you hold that glove still that's going to send the message to the umpire that you think it's a strike.
But he did move it a little bit, didn't
just
he?
very slightly.
2 down. Eric Sogard batting out of the number 9 spot again. Miguel Cabrera cheats in on the grass at third, and Sogard showed bunt as he charges in.
Yeah, he's really exaggerating where he's positioned himself when he has guys up there that have the potential to bunt. Again, he's limited with his mobility because of that abductor strain. You know, in this game, and it's such a pivotal game in the outcome of the series, it's really interesting, and it reflects once again how perfect baseball is. Sonny Gray's making his 11th start. Justin Verlander's making his 267th start, and they're matching each other pitch for pitch.
In there for a strike, and it's 2-1 now to Sogard. And Sogard batting out of the number 9 spot again tonight in game 2 of the series. First full season of the majors this year, 130 games, 110 starts. And late on the cut on the 95-mile-an-hour fastball from Verlander. Sogard, the former Padres second-round pick, acquired by the A's in 2010. Lifts it foul off to the left out of play.
The A's have a lot of different personalities, and certainly the fans have gotten behind all of those individuals. But the players in the AL West for sure recognize that this is a bunch of grinders. They will get in there and scratch and claw for every run they can get, and Eric Sogard has been exactly that type of player this year.
Oakland winning the West with 96 victories. There's a liner caught at third by Cabrera. Now Verlander has retired the first 9. We're through 3 without a score in game 2. It's ALDS Game 3 exclusively on MLB Network. Two storied franchises share one stage as Yoenis Cespedes and the AL West champions A's take on Miguel Cabrera and the AL Central champ Tigers Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific only on MLB Network. Now we head to the fourth inning as Prince Fielder leads it off here for the Tigers. And takes a look at ball one from Sonny Gray. Fielder grounded out to first base in the first inning against Gray, and the beginning of the second time through the lineup has not been a problem for Gray. Struck out the side in order. Batters 1, 2, and 3 in the third inning. And you wonder what kind of adjustments the Tigers should make here as they move along here and get a second look at Gray tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, they haven't seen a lot of curveballs. You saw the ones that they did. You know, Cabrera saw one of them, a bad swing at it, but they saw the gas the last inning. The thing with a young kid, though, when you come off of an inning where you punch out the side, you think, oh my goodness, have I got good stuff or not? You know, and you think you could just throw it down the middle because you're throwing so hard. And I don't know how many times I've went out there and had 2, 3 good innings and blowing guys away, and the next thing you know, the manager's taking the ball from me because I got carried away with my cheese. You know what I mean?
You're digging yourself out in the mouth.
I mean, you punch out the side like he did, and you can dig yourself, can't you?
But he's got a guy behind the plate that knows him well in Stephen Vogt. So I think if he gets a little bit sideways, Vogt will be able to get him right back in and get him into a good part of the strike zone.
Fielder lets that pass and jumps ahead here 3-1 against Gray to begin things here in the fourth inning. Gray's given up 2 hits, a single to Cabrera in the first inning and a single to Don Kelly in the second inning. Fielder chops one right side. Sogard from a stride on the outfield grass throws him out for the first out of the inning. Now, moments ago, we spoke to A's manager Bob Melvin. All right, Bob, well, Sonny Gray, you had said before the game he is not going to be alarmed by this or nervous. He doesn't appear to be nervous at all in his first start here in the postseason.
You know, he's pretty excited. Before he went out there, good mood, fired up. He's a pretty intense kid. He's throwing the ball well right now.
Bob, after the Seth Smith strikeouts, you went out to talk to C.B. Bucknor, and it looked like Bucknor kind of turned his back on you. It's obviously you can't argue balls and strikes.
Right, I was just checking on my player. I mean, things get emotional right now, and you're absolutely right. I can't do that, so I went out there. I was just checking to make sure everything was okay.
Everything appeared to be fine.
Everything appeared to be just fine.
He's still in the game.
How do you tiptoe around that if you go out there?
Just wanted to make sure. You can go out there and say, hey, you didn't throw my player out, did you? Well, I just want to check, make sure you didn't throw my player out. And oh, by the way,
you missed it.
Yeah.
Well, one down here in the fourth inning. Victor Martinez grounded out to second base in the second inning.
Well, you know, there's so many different ways to argue with an umpire. And you can go out there. And to his credit, C.B. Bucknor really kind of did a good thing when he turned his back on Bob Melvin, because he didn't allow Melvin to engage in any kind of conversation. And he really did a first-class thing in my mind. I mean, it's obviously a postseason game. You don't want to throw a manager in a ball game over something like that.
Well, Martinez sends it to right field. Reddick coming in. Takes care about number 2.
You know what's really interesting with this fastball is that he is beating these good hitters with his fastball in this game early on.
Well, Sonny Gray's been very good tonight with more. David Aldridge.
Well, Don, Sonny Gray was a star pitcher at Vanderbilt, following in the footsteps of an older pitcher who was also great for the Commodores, David Price, who grew up about 10 minutes from Gray's hometown of Smyrna, Tennessee. Price hosted Gray on his visit to Vanderbilt, and Gray says his goal was to become what Price already was at Vanderbilt, the Friday night guy, the guy who pitched in all the big games. The two have been friends ever since. In fact, Gray called Price the night before the Rays' AL tiebreaker game with Texas. He says his friend already had his game face on 24 hours before his complete game victory. Don?
It is amazing. Sonny Gray, one of 3 pitchers from Vanderbilt University, who started a game in the 2013 postseason. There's a ground ball to shift on right side. It's Lowry, the shortstop, who throws out Avila. 7 in a row retired by Sonny Gray. 3.5 done, no score. Core Performers brought to you by iShares by BlackRock. And last night the combined effort as it worked out for Max Scherzer, who ended up getting the win and 7 strong innings pitched. And of course the save for Joaquin Benoit, who ended up getting 4 outs to pick up his first postseason save. And 11 strikeouts they would go on. Those two combined for 14 strikeouts. But the Tigers last night had 16 Ks as a staff. And now Verlander, who's retired the first 9 in this game, has now gone 20 consecutive scoreless postseason innings against the A's. The last one he gave up to Oakland was that leadoff home run last year to begin the ALDS by the man coming to the plate here, Coco Crisp. So he's been amazing against the A's.
The A's have punched out 20 times in the last 12 innings. They got to make something happen.
Now, that's the nature of the postseason, the quality of pitching you're seeing, and that's why all those numbers you put up during the regular season kind of go out the door in the postseason.
And Coco jumping on the first pitch again as he did in his first at bat. Can't get this one either. He ended up flying out to left field after a lengthy at bat in the first inning.
Tried to jump ship right there, didn't he? He threw him a changeup.
You're going to ambush that fastball the way he did last year. This lineup tonight for Oakland, for their career, they've hit 198 against Verlander with 30 punch-outs. So he's had a lot of success, not only in the postseason, but in the regular season against this lineup.
And a swing and a miss here for Crisp. He's down 1-2.
Boy, that changeup, it is good. I don't care how hard you throw. If you can command the changeup, you can have success against any lineup.
It's amazing the difference in speed. It almost looks like a screwball. It turns it over a little bit.
Down and in, and it evens at 2-2. Well, they mentioned the home run to lead off the American League Division Series last year in Game 1. Verlander on the mound, and Coco Crisp gets it started at Comerica Park with a home run down the line.
He got a fastball to turn on, and he turned on it like he's been doing about the last 35 games this season. 12 home runs.
That's the last time Oakland scored on Scherzer in the postseason.
This one foul down the left field line out of play. And it was the second time in Major League history that a player homered to lead off the top of the first inning in a postseason series opener. The Yankees' Johnny Damon did it at Cleveland in 2007. And some leadoff home runs. Coco Crisp with 22 in the majors this year. Two-two pitch again. That is off the outside edge. That at times has been a strike.
That was the strike that brought Bob Melvin out of the dugout when Seth Smith was called out on strike 3.
I'll tell you what, Coco Crisp can work a count. He can get 3 and 2 just to stay in shape.
And he will ground one off himself, foul. Crisp, who walked twice in last night's game. 0 for 2 so far in the series, getting his second look tonight at Verlander. Payoff pitch again. And Crisp will strike out looking. 5th strikeout for Verlander, who's retired the first 10.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's when pitching was pitching. Buckshot all over the strike zone, and he throws a ball down and in. Wasn't really trying to throw it there. He set up outside of Vila, but he dots that inside corner and gets it by CB, punches out Coco in a long at bat.
Boy, with 2 strikes, that good moving fastball is such a good pitch. Everybody's shortening up, trying to put the ball in play, and you just can't pull the trigger with that much movement and that much velocity.
It just locked him up. He wasn't trying to throw it there, but it worked out nicely.
Jed Lowry bats. 5 strikeouts now for Verlander. 4 have been called third strikes. 4 of the 5. Lowry fouls it back to the screen. Outfield set up straight away here on Lowry, who struck out back in the first inning and is 0 for 5 so far in the series. I was talking before the game with Josh Reddick about the outfield situation. He says not in bad shape, considering the Raiders had played here, and you can see the line still down, and the Raiders will play here on Sunday night. As this one is fouled back. A lot of talk about the infield from the infielders, but as far as the outfield goes, he says it has been a lot worse in the past than it is currently. They've done a very good job of keeping the outfield track in pretty good shape.
What they've done is they've resod the outfield. You can see the new grass out there, and they've done a great job of rolling it down. It's a little bit quicker, but it's pretty smooth out there.
And this is inside, and evens a count at 2-2.
Well, this is when pitching was pitching. He's throwing everything, isn't he? Curveball, changeup, fastball outside, fastball inside, all over the joint.
In there for strike 3, freezes Lowry, and that's back-to-back Ks for Verlander, 6 in all.
I mean, he's done it all tonight early on. Just punched out Coco on a fastball down and in, and just buckles Lowry with a buckling curveball.
68% so far tonight for Verlander. Fastballs, 21 breaking balls, and 11% changeup so far tonight. And he's got 6 strikeouts. 2 down here in the 4th inning. Josh Donaldson, the batter. In there for strike 1.
Boy, that get me over curveball is a wicked pitch for him, and he's got a great feel. His delivery has really been ironed out now. There's not a whole lot of effort. It looks like he's throwing at about 90% effort so he can stay in the strike zone, use all of his pitches, and really baffle the Oakland hitters.
You know you're baffling people when they take strike 3.
Yeah.
And he's done that 5 out of the 6 punch outs tonight.
They got too many things on their mind. They're thinking curveball, changeup, fastball in, fastball away. What do I hit? And oops, by the way, strike 3. Grab some pine.
It is again, and that one drops in there for another strike. 1-2.
Yeah, and the curveball is really a tough pitch, and it's been a pitch that has kind of disappeared over the course of the years because the strike zone has gotten so small.
It's hard to throw a strike with it. I mean, if you throw a strike with your curveball, it's not a very good one. The good one's in the dirt.
Donaldson thought about it, but lets that go by.
It's hard to get an umpire to call a strike on a good curveball.
Yeah, the definition of the strike zone is the midpoint between the shoulders and the belt, but it's a lot lower than that. You rarely get a pitch above the belt hole for a strike, and if you're throwing a good curveball, it's going to be above the belt from time to time. And it's really been a pitch that has been tough to master, but both Sonny Gray and Verlander have good hooks tonight.
I hope it doesn't turn into a hanger, which it often does. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Donaldson, 2 down in the inning. That's off the plate outside. They are playing defensively here on Donaldson in the outfield. Trying to go the other way to move Austin Jackson over towards right center. On the grass out there in left center.
It's difficult to get the head out when you're protecting against that curveball and the guy throws 96. Chances are it is going to be something to the opposite field if he makes contact.
Will he throw him a fastball here?
Grounded up the middle into center field, a base hit. And the first base runner of the night for the Oakland A's, Josh Donaldson, reaches after Justin Verlander retires the first 11 batters he faces in the game.
You're just looking for contact right there. 3-2. He did not want to walk him. He threw him a fastball right down the middle, and he didn't try to pull it, Donaldson. Right back up the middle for the first hit by the A's.
And retired the first 11, 6 by way of the K. And he gives up the base hit to Donaldson with 2 down in the inning. Well, Brandon Moss coming up. There's a strikeout victim swinging in the second inning. Throw to first, and that turned out to be relatively close. Seemed to surprise Donaldson. He wasn't very far off the bag either.
He didn't have a lead at all. See, the first pitch from the stretch is a changeup.
Now, it's a slide step changeup, and it's a very effective pitch because when a hitter sees a slide step, he thinks it's going to be a fastball because the purpose of the slide step is to cut down the running game.
Like, how big a deal is it to get into the fourth inning with 2 outs and now go to the stretch for the first time in the game?
It's a big deal, especially in a nothing game. It's a big deal. And like you said, that slide step, for me, you can make a mistake on a slide step, especially an off-speed pitch. And the fastball is much easier to throw with a slide step. I hated to throw like a breaking ball slide step. Don't want to do it. Sometimes you have to.
Moss with a swing and a miss, 96 and up.
This is one area where Verlander is vulnerable as the stolen base. Base runners have stolen 21 of 25 against him this year. So he is aware of that. He's got a quick move to first, but he's slow unloading to the plate.
I mean, most power pitchers don't slide step.
And Brandon Moss with 30 regular season home runs. Standing in here with 2 outs and Josh Donaldson at first base. Moss with a swing and a miss for strike 2. Again, the fastball again at 96.
Well, he just cannot get there. Anything belt high fastball, he's got no chance. This guy's got major pop.
But it's down.
Down.
His power is down, and Verlander knows that very well. Moss took him deep in August back in Detroit on a pitch that was down.
In there for strike 3. Drops the breaking ball on him down the inning. That is 7 strikeout for Verlander in a scoreless game in game 2. That's into the top half of the 5th inning we go. Back at O.Co Coliseum in Oakland as the bottom third of the Tigers order to bat here. Omar Infante, Don Kelly, and Jose Iglesias. As Sonny Gray in his first postseason appearance, only 2 of his 22 runs allowed in his brief major league career from the 4th inning on. So he appears to settle in very nicely, and so far so good. He's not allowed to run in the first 4 innings of this outing.
So, Eck, I got to ask you, what about your nerves in the 11th major league start of your career?
Whoa. I was in Cleveland somewhere with about 5,000 people hanging out, right? There's no TV camera to be had.
And Sonny Gray's handling this spotlight very effectively.
7 in a row retired by Gray. As Infante takes a pitch inside.
You think about it, last inning they did him a favor. He got behind Fielder with 3-1, got a ground ball, 2-0. He got another out by Avila. Avila swung at the first pitch. Martinez, he got behind him, so he got kind of a lucky inning after punching out the side.
4-pitch walk here to begin this 5th inning. That's just the second free pass given up by Sonny Gray. The MLB Fan Cave is back in 2014. Players, celebrities, concerts, and more. You can be part of next season's team. Go to MLBFancave.com and apply now. A leadoff walk here allowed by Sonny Gray to begin things in the 5th inning, and brings up Don Kelly, a single to right field in the 2nd inning, and has one of the 2 Tigers hits on the night. And on the grass at 3rd is Donaldson. As Kelly takes a look at strike 1.
Don Kelly's a very versatile player for Jim Leyland. He can play 3rd base. He can play 1st base. He's made 45 starts in the outfield, including 19 in center. So he's quite an asset for the Tigers to give them some versatility.
6 different positions for the Tigers this season for the 2nd straight year. As a ground ball towards second base, Sogard has no play at second, so he fires to first. As Infante takes second base, 1 down in the inning.
Nicely done by Kelly. A little hit and run there. They got to get somebody going here. High fives for Kelly. All you want to do is make contact, just to get Infante to second base. How sweet a ground ball to second is in that situation. A 0-0 game.
Well, both clubs have struck out a lot, so Jim Leyland said, you know what, I know Kelly can put the bat on the ball, so I'm going to start the runner and get somebody in scoring position finally.
So 1 out, Infante in scoring position at second base. Second time the Tigers have had a runner in scoring position as Iglesias takes strike 1.
Jim Leyland's still concerned about his offense. They scored 3 runs in the 1st inning last night. He said, but hey, we haven't hit the ball in the gap, or we haven't hit the ball out of the ballpark for a while now. And that's the type of offense they have.
We talked about it last night. They were no hit on the final day of the regular season, and we're not scoring runs down the stretch.
4 runs in their last 4 games, and they averaged 3.7 runs the entire month of September.
And he knows it. That's why he's talking about it. And they made those 3 runs stand up last night. They're leaning on this pitching staff. Leaned on them all year, even though they scored a ton of runs.
On the ground up the middle, Lowry coming from shortstop's got to hurry with the speed of Iglesias. It'll be late. And on to third base goes Infante. Not hit hard, and Iglesias gets down the line well.
He gets out of the box is what he does. All he's trying to do is make contact. This is a nasty hook. See him? He is out of the box and gone. Lowry tries a barehand. This is not even close. Infield hit. He's had a ton of infield hits this year, Iglesias.
35 infield hits. And he really gets out of the box. You don't see many right-handed hitters get out of the box that quickly and down the line as well as Iglesias.
So 1st and 3rd with 1 out here in the 5th inning as the Tigers threaten. Austin Jackson is 0 for 2 in this game. Struck out swinging in the 1st, struck out looking in the 3rd. As he takes ball 1.
Oakland has had trouble turning double plays this year. They've turned just 112 double plays. That's the fewest in their franchise history.
They're giving up this run if you can just get a ground ball, because you know Jackson can run. It's going to have to be a firm ground ball to turn it.
Jackson missing just over a month with a pulled hamstring this year. Played in just 129 games this season, lowest total of his 4-year career. And the ball outside.
I think he's got to throw a curveball here. Jackson can really square up on a fastball, and it sounds odd with a 2-0 count, but I think if he throws him a fastball, he'll put it in play.
Outside, goes to the fastball and falls behind now, 3-0.
Sort of lost it a little bit this inning with his control, especially the control of his fastball. See him yank it there 3 times.
They walked Infante on 4 pitches to begin the inning. Don Kelly grounded out on the hit and run bid as Infante took second base, and the infield hit for Iglesias. First and third, 1 down.
When we met with Bob Melvin, he said Sonny Gray is difficult to know when to take him out because he can find it quickly again.
Jackson gets the green light and fouls it off to the right.
He said that when Sonny Gray would have an inning like this and you get thinking about making a move, all of a sudden he'll find it again and pitch his way out of it, get back into a good groove.
We got lucky there with a 3-0 fastball. He gets that ball in the seats and you're in trouble.
Infante at third, Iglesias at first, 1 down in the Tigers' 5th inning. Foul back again. Gray battles back, full count. Would love to get a strikeout, and Jackson does strike out a lot. 614 career strikeouts and 570 career games. Finished first American League in Ks in 2010, second in 2011.
5 straight fastballs. You got a curveball in there?
Yeah. You know what? He's in a swing mode right now, and he'll probably chase if you just throw that good hook. Looks like we're throwing another fastball.
Runner goes. Jackson strikes out. Throw down is going to be in time. Strike him out. Throw him out. Double play to end the inning. Sonny Gray is out of trouble. American League Division coverage on TBS presented by T-Mobile. Strike him out, throw him out, DP.
What a beautiful thing. You talk about a punch out. He came back all the way back from 3-0. Throws him a little cutter almost. Swing and miss by Jackson. And Vogt comes up with a great dynamite throw on the bag to throw out Iglesias.
What a story Stephen Vogt is. 28-year-old journeyman. He is a rookie. Played it last year with the Rays. Made the team after years in the minor leagues and had tears in his eyes when he heard the national anthem when he made the team last spring. Tampa Bay let him go. Oakland picked him up. What a terrific throw to end that threat.
A little emotion in that throw, huh?
Well, the A's come to bat here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Cespedes, his second at bat against Verlander as he takes strike one.
Just feel this momentum shift after a strike him out, throw him out. See if they could do something here with Verlander.
He's only given up one hit through the first 4 innings. Tigers have had just one base runner. This is to right field and right at Torrey Hunter, but it's going to fall in front of him. Hunter, little indecisive as he moved in, was not sure, and he lets it fall in front of him.
That ball was first hit. I looked, I said, boy, Hunter is playing so deep, and once he sort of hesitated, that ball was going to drop. Not hit all that hard, but he was playing a deep right field.
Yeah, Tigers play very deep, and Cespedes, 2 hits last night of the 3 A's hits. He has half the hits again tonight with 1 of 2. Bob Melvin told us he likes the spotlight. We saw that at the All-Star game when he won the home run hitting contest.
On at first base, and a quick check on him right away by Verlander. Seth Smith getting his second at bat of the postseason as he struck out looking in the 2nd inning. His second look at Verlander tonight. Pitch down and in. Nice stop by Avila.
I just can't imagine Cespedes is not going to run in this situation. He has 7 steals. He's got great speed. He's not what you'd call a real base stealing threat. But with Verlander and that big curveball and how slow he is to the plate, great opportunity to run.
Well, you pick the right pitch, you're going to steal on him. And you're making him hurry up. He just looks like he wants to hurry up and get it and go.
And a bigger lead that time for Cespedes, and Verlander noticed.
We saw last night with Scherzer the way he held it for the longest of time. You don't really see that much with Verlander. He's a little anxious.
Smith with a swing and a miss on the breaking ball there, and it's even now at 1-1. The way these 2 starters are going, going to manufacture some runs right here.
Well, you just can't sit on anything by Verlander. You don't know what he's going to do. Another changeup.
And it's lined to right. It's in for a base hit. Cespedes up to second base, and the first 2 A's have reached here in the 5th inning.
Back-to-back changeups by Verlander. He gets the ball up a little bit to Seth Smith. This ball's middle, and he is all over it. Luckily for Verlander, it's only a base hit.
Cespedes got a good read on it because Hunter was so deep. But it went right to Hunter, and all he could do is go to second.
2 on, nobody out here for the A's in the 5th. And cheating in from shortstop was Iglesias, grabbing the attention of Cespedes, who ducked back to the bag. Reddick showing bunt and taking ball 1.
This is interesting. Obviously shows you just how tough runs are to come by. Reddick has 1 sacrifice bunt this year. Of course, the mobility of third for Cabrera has been reduced dramatically, so that's where you want to bunt it. Make him feel the ball.
They are working towards the bottom of the order. to wait as Verlander spins off the backside.
Boy, you talk about the complexion of baseball changing dramatically in the postseason. This is a great example of it.
I don't care if you don't like to bunt or not. You're going to bunt right now. Let's go.
He's squaring again as Verlander bluffed.
And you know Reddick doesn't bunt all that often. He wants to make sure he gets squared up.
Reddick has had some tough numbers over the years against Verlander. Not alone in that category, but 2 for 19. 8 Ks. It's a bunt and a pop up to third. Cabrera makes the catch, and Reddick cannot get the job done.
That's the risk you take of asking somebody that doesn't bunt very often, and Reddick jammed at it and popped it on the line to third base. Cabrera makes an easy play of it. Oakland bunted. There's 21 sacrifice bunts during the course of the season, and they aren't built to play that way, but you got to change your personality in the postseason.
That was awful.
Yeah.
You know, it really was. What a gift they gave Verlander. He looked like he was trying to bunt it hard. He kind of poked at it. If you're not used to bunting, it's hard to make somebody, but you don't bunt all year and you expect to come up with a big bunt.
Now Stephen Vogt jumps on the first pitch and fouls it back.
But if you are going to the postseason, you better work on things like this, because you know the games are going to be tight. But you saw he dropped the head of the bat, got underneath it, and popped it into the air. It's an easy play for Cabrera. You got to get that bat angle up, bunt the ball down to the ground, and keep it out of the air.
Vogt goes after that pitch, high fastball, and is down 0-2.
Boy, you know that out really energized Verlander.
Well, he knew he had that spin move to second base. He did it 2 times in a row. He knew for sure that Reddick was going to bunt. He threw him a high fastball, which is what you're supposed to do. He's a little jittery out there, isn't he? He's a little anxious. He's always moving around.
I think he's thinking things out and just trying to grab a hold of his emotions. I think he's in control.
In the air, down the right field line, and foul as Vogt jumps out ahead of that.
When he first came up, Verlander, he was, let's go, wasn't he? He wanted to get it and throw it. I think he's slowed down over the years.
Well, you can't muscle your way through these situations. You got to think your way through them, and he's got a lot of weapons for him tonight.
You're supposed to slow down when guys get on base. You're supposed to slow your game down.
Cespedes at second, Smith at first with 1 down. Verlander backing off as stepping out was Vogt again. First time the A's have had 2 base runners on in an inning. That's outside.
You're going to see the best that Verlander's got right now.
Scherzer did the same thing last night after he gave up the 2-run home run to Cespedes. He buckled down and retired the next 3 in order.
Vogt will strike out, or he got a piece, and it is caught by Aviles as home plate umpire C.B. Bucknor. Arguing his vote, he thought it hit the ground, but instead it's out number 2 and the 8th strikeout for Verlander.
What a big punch out right here. Curveball down in the dirt. Looked like he foul tipped it.
Looked like it bounced.
Looked like it bounced, didn't it? We get another look at this.
Sure did.
That ball bounced.
Yeah, I don't think he hit it.
You don't think he tipped it?
I think he missed it.
Right.
He's arguing the call.
CB
Buckner
said he tipped it.
He sure did.
Yeah.
CB Buckner indicated foul tip. If that's the case, then the ball hit the dirt and it's not strike 3.
Looked like he just missed it.
It looked like he totally missed it.
First and second, now 2 down. Sogard lining out to third base his first time, getting on the look.
It definitely hit the ground. Did he foul tip it or not is the question.
And the indication from C.B. Buckner is that he did.
I mean, that's the kind of thing that you can't review.
No.
And this is the nature of this game. You can't review that.
I think it worked out. I don't think Vogt touched it. I think he
was out anyway.
Sogard with a swing and a miss at the high fastball at 97.
A high piece of cheese right there, the hardest ball he's thrown. But you see the curveball. It didn't change direction, did it? The ball's going down, spinning downward. I think Vogt was just praying that he thought he could sell that foul tip.
Sogard takes strike 2.
And he is working. I told you, this is when he's at his best. 97 piece of cheese upstairs. A hook follows it up.
That's 12 out of 13 and 2 strike counts. Here we go again. Count of 1 and 2 to Eric Sogard with 2 on, 2 down. And Sogard strikes out. Verlander's fired up. Oakland's first 2 base runners reach, but Verlander works his way around it, and we are scoreless through 5 in game 2. Pitcher comparison brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance, and a very good pitcher's duel in this game. Justin Verlander and Sonny Gray so far through the first 5 innings. 9 strikeouts now for Justin Verlander to 6 for Sonny Gray as we move along to the 6th inning.
They both had to get out of trouble there in the 5th inning.
Stressful innings for both as Torrey Hunter leads it off and takes strike 1.
Oakland 25 strikeouts in 14 innings. Like they're swinging swords.
Walter has a strikeout for the Tigers tonight as he struck out last time up, grounded out in the first inning. Now fouls this off to the right and is down 0-2.
An awful lot of scouts around baseball would take Sonny Gray right now and put him at least in the 2 spot in their rotation. He's legit. This is his 11th big league start, his 3rd professional season, and he is for real.
Hunter strikes out again. 7 strikeouts for Sonny Gray. Let's check in with our Atlanta studio and Keith Olbermann. Keith?
Now batting, number 24, Miguel Cabrera.
All right, Keith, thanks very much as Miguel Cabrera stands in with 1 out here in the 6th inning.
Well, David Ortiz has been doing that forever. I mean,
that's not new.
He's got the slowest trot in the game, does he not?
Especially when he squares one up. David Price had a rough start. 7 innings, 9 hits, 7 earnings.
There's a fly ball to right field for Cabrera. Josh Reddick sees it, moves over and puts it away. 2 down.
The Tigers can't get the head out against Sonny Gray, and he has kept them back over the plate. There's no extension whatsoever from this potent lineup, and he has neutralized them very effectively.
He's got that fastball that just jumps and it goes. You saw the 3-2 pitch to Jackson where they had the strikeout, throw him out. That ball cut a little bit. And don't tell me he was trying to cut that ball. He's just trying to throw a strike as hard as he can on the outside corner.
Got natural life.
Yes.
The Prince Fielder lays off as he bats here with 2 outs and the base is empty here in the 6th.
What he's got is a yacker for your culo is what he's got, doesn't he?
A yellow hammer.
Yo-ho.
And they used to call it Uncle Charlie, but his is Lord Charles.
Makes that gas look that much better.
Chops this one right side. Sogard plays it, flips underhanded for the out. That ends the top of the 6th inning. We're 5.5 deep in the game 2 without a score. We are back at O.co Coliseum and what has been a very loud crowd, but a scoreless game 2 so far as we head into the bottom of the 6th inning. Both teams with 3 hits. 9 strikeouts for Justin Verlander through the first 5. And that's the top of the A's order. Coco Crisp, who leads it off. Jed Lowry and Josh Donaldson to follow. This 0 for 2. He's flied out to the left and struck out looking. Verlander allowed back-to-back base hits in the 5th, but worked around it. Struck out Vogt and Sogard in the 5th inning.
Boy, Crisp has done a good job of laying off those borderline pitches. Really reflects his experience and understands what his job is. His job is to get on base. Had 3 walks in the game last night.
It's a fly ball into center field. Austin Jackson has it lined up. He put it away for out number 1. Want to know the secrets of being a home run hitter? Tim Ferriss shows you how to knock it out of the park. Go to upwave.com/baseball. One down here in the 6th inning as Jed Lowry makes his way to the plate. Lowry has struck out twice, both times looking against Verlander in this game. He's got 2 of the 9 Ks for Verlander.
Another changeup. Start him off just like Coco. High changeup.
And it was popped up down the left field line. Iglesias running into foul ground. Will get there. Good running catch by Jose Iglesias.
This ballpark, you need a versatile a shortstop that can go get him, because you got all that room over there. Cabrera can't get to it. He's got no chance.
Iglesias is aware of that. Anything popped up in the air and foul ground, he's got to be the one that takes charge, especially those ones that are well foul. And that's the real benefit here in this ballpark for pitchers. Those balls in most ballparks will roll back into the seats out of play.
Great distance to reel that in for the 2nd out here of the 6th inning. And it brings up Josh Donaldson, who has one of only 3 Oakland hits on the night against Verlander. His was a single in the 4th inning. And a swing and a miss for strike 1.
That almost looked like a 2-seamer running inside.
93 with a lot of late movement, and Verlander's done a heck of a job pitching again tonight. We've seen him up to 97 when he needed a little high gas come upstairs, and then he creates a lot of movement at 93. Well, you got a lot of weapons. I mean, sometimes too many weapons can cloud your mind. You get too many weapons, you can't throw them over, and all of a sudden you don't have command of anything. Not the case with Verlander tonight.
I think he wanted to throw a changeup right there.
There it is.
There it is.
Boy, that is such a great pitch, and it's really come into vogue. Of course, Pedro Martinez had a terrific changeup. He could throw any time, but in a game like this, with a hitter like Donaldson who's supercharged trying to do something dramatic, the changeup really becomes an effective weapon.
You don't see a lot of changeups down and in to right-handed hitters.
But you know why it's effective now? Because pitchers can't pitch inside. Hitters have body armor. They don't call the inside strike. So where hitters are going, the outer 3/4, and that's why that sinking changeup down and in is so effective. Hitters cover the outer 3/4 of the plate well.
Throw 95 in there, you're going to drill somebody.
In the dirt, and it evens at 2-2 now to Donaldson.
checking to see what count is again.
Just make sure it's not 3-2.
Exactly. Wants to make sure he's got another pitch to work with.
Got it.
This will be his 94th pitch of his outing. He goes to the curveball and strikes out Donaldson. That is 10 strikeouts for Verlander. American League Division coverage on TBS presented by T-Mobile. Well, an exciting race in between half inning here, and Dennis Eckersley lost last night, comes up with a victory tonight. Down the stretch and Eck wins. That was exciting.
It was a big old squash with the little legs, huh? Hey, this is great. I want to do this every night. They talk about you every night. They show your number up there. It's a beautiful thing.
I like it. You beat the buzzard by about that much.
You're still unhappy the way it looks, though.
Yeah.
You gotta,
what are you going to do, man?
Yes,
You're lucky enough to have somebody do something like that for you.
Right.
I can handle it.
That's awesome.
Now Victor Martinez leads it off here for the Tigers.
Besides, you really entertain Ray Fosse every night when he sees that guy.
He loves it because he knows I'm ugly in there, and he gets off on it. He knows I'm looking bad.
Victor Martinez 0 for 2. He's grounded out and flied out. I think the resemblance is pretty close. I mean, I don't know. I mean, look.
The horn does not. That's not my horn. That is not.
But the moss.
I don't know.
The moss was flowing pretty good.
Yeah.
It looks good when he runs too.
Well, he always ran. He ran like crazy around this ballpark when he was playing.
Oh, didn't I?
Yeah. See him out in the parking lot on the way here. You'd be running around the parking lot.
It's funny. That's why I remember more than anything as we came in. That parking lot. It's funny. Memories you have here, and then memories of running. Basically the kind of work you put in just to go one inning. You got to be kidding me. I ran too many miles just to throw one inning.
You didn't want to let anybody down.
Exactly. I deserve to get these people out because I've been running all day.
Victor Martinez leading it off here in the 7th, down 1-2. Ground ball right side. Sogard on to Moss for the first out of the inning. Well, it's ALDS Game 3 exclusively on MLB Network. Two storied franchises share one stage as Yoenis Cespedes and the AL West champion A's take on Miguel Cabrera and the AL Central champ Tigers. Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, only on MLB Network. One out here in the 7th inning as Alex Avila batting with one down here for the Tigers.
Using the shift again, 3 infielders on the right side of the diamond. Something that has really spread all across baseball, everybody utilizing these dramatic shifts. There's so much information about hitters now that when you see a hitter hit the ball well, and that's what you're defending, the well hit balls. 1976, Whitey Herzog was the manager of the Royals, and he would sit on the airplane after every game with colored pencils and mark out the spray chart from his pitchers every game. That was the first time I ever saw anybody prepare to defend against hitters.
When I was here in Oakland, Rene Latchman used to do that. He was more concerned with doing his charts than, well, hello. I'd always see him down. The game's going on, and all he was doing is those charts.
Yeah, tracking where hitters hit the ball hard, and obviously you want to defend against well-hit balls.
Avila gets the arms out of the way, but takes the strike. 1-2.
But Whitey Herzog would have a different colored pencil for every pitcher on his staff and put together the spray chart. Now it's all computerized. You get printouts every single day.
Sonny Gray has 7 strikeouts in his outing, with one out here in the 7th. Make it 8. Strikes out Avila, 2 down in the 7th inning.
Once again, that yacker for your Kulo. This is when this kid is at his best. Look at that. You got no chance after throwing that fastball inside. This kid's going to go long ways with that pitch.
Yeah, he hasn't even tinkered with the changeup, and that's going to be another thing he'll be able to develop. How about that line score? No runs, 6 hits in the entire ball game.
Nobody's squaring anything up.
Nothing.
0.
Everybody is back in over the plate. Nobody's getting any extension whatsoever.
2 down here in the 7th inning as Infante takes strike 1.
He's got plenty in the tank too. 95 at the knees.
A couple years ago, we saw Matt Moore work in Texas for the Tampa Bay Rays in just his 2nd.
He opened up the postseason series. He opened up the division series in game 1. His 2nd professional start, big league start, was in the playoffs. 7 strong innings.
And tonight we watched Sonny Gray in his first postseason start.
Sonny doesn't seem nervous to me.
At any point.
We talked to both managers about that and how different these young players are today. Years ago, we didn't know anything about the big leagues. We'd come up and we'd been in the ballpark for the first time. Now, these guys have been on travel teams, all-star teams, pitched in major colleges, played with these guys, signed for big bonuses. They think they should be here. They don't have any sense of awe whatsoever.
There's a fly ball hit to left field. Cespedes underneath. It's a 1-2-3 7th inning for Sonny Gray. It's 7th inning stretch of game 2. No score from Oakland. Welcome back to O.co Coliseum, where a game summary is brought to you by Geico. And there's not been much offense in this game for either side. It's all been about the pitching. Justin Verlander threw 6. He's given up 3 hits, has 10 strikeouts in the first 6 innings. Sonny Gray on the other side, 8 strikeouts in 7 innings pitched. And game 2 has been very quiet offensively for both these teams. Don Orsillo along with Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley, along with Buck Martinez. And gentlemen, this has been about the starters so far tonight. Both very impressive.
I think we expected Verlander to do this, but we hadn't seen Sonny Gray. We didn't know how he was going to handle this adrenaline, but he's done this before. This guy's thrown 2 no-hitters in his life, and he's been dazzling Verlander. 10 punch-outs with everything, curveballs, fastballs, changeups. But Sonny Gray, to me, is more of a story. I mean, he's just a young kid, 23 years old.
Sonny Gray has 10 regular season starts under his belt. Verlander has 266, and Sonny Gray has not wavered under this pressure. His team is down a game in this postseason 5-game series. He has pounded the strike zone all night long with a fastball and a hook, and he has matched Verlander pitch for pitch throughout the course of this ball game.
Now Verlander at 94 pitches as he starts this bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 for the A's. Brandon Moss, Yoenis Cespedes, and Seth Smith. LDS games 1 and 2 for Tigers pitching. How good have they been between Scherzer and Verlander? Well, 26 Ks, franchise record for consecutive postseason games.
Well, and they both had a little extra rest. They had time to regroup a bit. When they faced him in August, the A's pounded on this pitching staff to the tune of 34 runs in 4 games. Different story in the first 2 games so far.
Moss takes a pitch down and in for ball 1. He's had no success tonight against Verlander, striking out twice. Once swinging, once looking.
Sort of like last night, you're sort of waiting for somebody to run into something. Cespedes last night, did he ever run into something?
Now to Moss.
The key for getting Moss out has been Verlander's kept the ball up in the zone. He'd been able to get that ball by him. Moss homered against Verlander earlier on a pitch that was down about knee high. That was back in August.
Outside, 3-0.
Well, this is a team all year long that has been patient and powerful.
Verlander has not walked anybody in the first 6 innings, but behind Moss, 3-0 to begin the bottom of the 7th. Takes ball 4 and lead runner on for the Athletics in the 7th. Breaks up a string of 6 in a row retired by Verlander.
Here's where Cespedes really becomes dangerous. He likes the spotlight. He likes the pressure. And he's got the ability to hit anybody's fastball out of the ballpark. Last night he had a triple on a line drive over the left fielder's head, and then he hit one deep into the seats.
1 for 2 tonight. He flied out to right field in the 2nd. He singled to right field in the 5th. Now he takes ball 1. There's 5 straight balls to begin the inning for Verlander.
Surprised if he throws a fastball right here. 1-0, I would assume he'd throw something other than a fastball.
You gotta believe Cespedes is sitting on the heater.
Well, another fastball away.
Cespedes drives it to right field. Hunter on the move, will get there to make the catch, then dropped it, but it's on the transfer, and back to the bag at first is Moss. The catch was made, then Hunter dropped it as he went to grab it with his hand, had it long enough, and drops it on the transfer.
He had trouble with this right from the get-go. This is a bullet in the gap. Another fastball down and away. Cespedes goes down and gets it, hits it in the gap. This looks like trouble. He lunges at the last minute. I thought he lost it in the lights or something. because the ball was right there, and at the last second he lunged for it like he didn't see it. Then he catches it and drops it.
Boy, that was a seed that Cespedes hit on a good pitch.
If he doesn't drop it, he may have had a chance to get Moss at first base.
Yeah, Moss was all the way to second base when he caught that ball.
Seth Smith 1 for 2 in the game. He will pop it up. Racing against Iglesias. Kelly's got a long run. This will be caught by Kelly in foul ground for the second out of the inning. And a long way to go to get there, but he does for the second out.
Boy, he was running for days, wasn't he? That ball was up in the air forever. And as a pitcher, you're watching this, you're saying, don't you dare fall in right here. This is not an easy play. Your head's bobbing and weaving. He's got so far to go, but he finally pulls up and catches it. Not real clean there, was it? A little in the heel.
One thing he had in his advantage was he knew that there was no wall over there. He had plenty of room. He could sprint as far as he wanted to. And he was able to get to that ball and made the catch in foul ground. He didn't have to worry about any wall or any dugout over there. Had plenty of room.
Here's Josh Reddick, 0 for 6 so far in the series, as he takes a look at ball 1. Verlander trying to work his way around. A leadoff walk to Brandon Moss. It's Cespedes to line out to right. Smith fouled out. 2 down. Reddick will foul it off down the left field line.
See, at the last minute, he just lunges for that ball. He was there in time. Looked like he just didn't see it. Yeah.
That's exactly what he said. He got it lost in the lights, and he jabbed at it right at the end, and he's able to make the catch.
Your heart skips a beat as a pitcher.
Where'd it go? Oh. You see that outfielder reach for it again as if he didn't see it.
That could have been a game winner. Gets by him.
Moss able to get back at a short lead. Crossed over to return to the bag.
Reddick couldn't get down the bunt in the 5th inning. Had runners at first and second, nobody out. Melvin asked him to sacrifice, and he lined a bunt to the third baseman. Well, he'd love to make up for that in this at bat.
These have all been close pitches. It's 2-1. Pitch 105 coming up for Justin Verlander with 2 outs here in the 7th inning. And it's fouled back.
Yeah, the hitters tell you where you are in your pitch count. Nobody has squared up anything all night, so Verlander is not even concerned about his pitch count, nor is Jim Leyland. It's not a matter of pitch count. It's about execution and where the hitters are making contact over the plate. Reminding the infield about a possible delay steal here.
Jim Leyland has double-barreled action in his pen. Albuquerque and Smiley both up. 2-2 pitch. Fouled back again. Here's the busy bullpen for the Tigers.
Smiley did a nice job last night.
Couple of strikeouts in his 2/3 of an inning, and then turned it over to Benoit, who closed out the 8th.
It's as good as I've seen Benoit, especially clutch 4-out save.
No check on Mucon. Very deep Tigers outfield here on Josh Reddick. They're about straight up, but deep all the way around.
Hook.
Reddick to right. Hunter coming in, but it's going to drop for a base hit. Heading for third is Moss. Throw is going there, and he will be safe at third. And with the throw going there, able to move up to second is Reddick, and it's second and third now with 2 down.
Again, because Oakland plays so deep. Because Detroit plays so deep, Oakland can be aggressive on the bases. And Moss challenged the great arm of Torrey Hunter.
You see the hanging hook there to Reddick. He drills this ball to Hunter. He's playing so deep, but he's got a gun. The throw is, if the throw's on the money, Moss is out. You see the tag by Cabrera. The throw is to the inside part. He has to lunge back to get him. He's safe, easy. Reddick goes to second on the throw to third. 2 out, second and third. That throw beat him.
The throw beat him, but he's able to slide away from the tag of Cabrera.
It is the first time tonight the Athletics have had a base runner to third base in this game. Second and third, 2 down. Stephen Vogt, the batter. And Vogt fouls it back.
Vogt coming into the postseason had been as cold as ice. Just 3 for his last 22. He got a chance now to deliver maybe the biggest hit of the season for Oakland.
0 for 5 in the series. He has struck out twice tonight against Verlander already. Vogt fouls it back again and finds himself in the hole, 0-2.
Obviously an important pitch, and they don't want to leave anything to chance. How much input did you have as a pitcher in a discussion like this?
I'm telling him exactly what I want to do. He's not going to tell me. I'm the one that needs the conviction here.
Got to be sure of what you want to do.
Brandon Moss at third base. Josh Reddick at second base. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. Vogt fouls it off again. That was in and up.
That's where the pitch count doesn't matter. He was able to crank it up to 96 right there and beat Vogt with that high fastball.
Major stress piece right now. I'm kind of stressed.
You have nothing to do with it. You can't control anything. That's why it's stressful.
Yes, exactly. You got a guy 0-2. You really don't want to throw him a strike.
Vogt grounds it foul.
Once again, that shows the confidence Verlander has in his catcher Avila throwing that hook with a runner just 90 feet away. He was confident if he bounced it, Avila was going to be able to block it.
Another meeting at the mound. There have been a few here.
In August, there was some accusations that Oakland was relaying pitches in the Tiger series back at Comerica. So they're going to go without giving signs in this situation.
Again, the 0-2 pitch. And Vogt fouls it back again. That was 97. And again, they'll meet.
He's just trying to stay alive, fight off that fastball.
But again, they're not going to have any signs with a runner at second, just to make sure there's no possibility of relaying location or a pitch.
You can't blame him right now, that's for sure. Nobody got on second base to relay anything all this whole game. Just in the 5th inning, he had trouble.
Moss at third, Reddick at second, 2 down. The 0-2 was outside.
Like you said, when you throw that curveball, you got to throw it as hard as you can. You can't be leaving it up out over.
Again, they're going to talk it over. They forgot. He started to flash him a set of signs and said, hey, we can't do that.
Somebody's looking.
How about Stephen Vogt? What an opportunity. 28 years old, waited a lifetime to reach the big leagues.
Vogt fouls back another. You got to hand it to him with this at bat against Justin Verlander.
7 years in the minors, he was a 300 hitter. He has been a good hitter throughout his minor league career. He went 0 for 32 to start his big league career. And his first big league hit was a home run this June.
Takes it high. The fastball again evens the count at 2-2.
He hasn't really thrown him a strike. All the fastballs are up out of the zone.
Ninth pitch of the at-bat coming up for Stephen Vogt with runners at second and third and 2 down.
You got to hook him, don't you?
Yes, and Vogt fouls that back.
Pretty good spray chart there of pitches as they're trying to mix it up. And 9 pitches so far. Vogt was able to get a piece of that hook. That's impressive after you've seen a 97-mile-an-hour fastball in this at-bat, that they can still get wood on that hook.
This at-bat extends into double figures. 10th pitch of the AB coming up. Vogt strikes out Verlander, gets him to end the inning on his 11th strikeout. The A's lead base runners at second and third. We head for the 8th. Still scoreless.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Don Kelly leads it off for the Tigers as we head to the 8th inning. Verlander is pumped up, and you can understand why as he gets out of that second and third jam in a big way.
What an at-bat by Vogt. And, you know, I tell you what, I was psyched for Verlander. I don't care how long he's pitched. MVP Cy Young, he was juiced. 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, and obviously pitch count not a factor, and we've been so reliant on the pitch count throughout the last several years. I think oftentimes we rob a pitcher of those opportunities to work his way out of those tough situations.
Here's the 1-1 to Kelly, and that is back off of Gray. It kicks out to second base, and Sogard, by the time he can gather it, reaching at first is Kelly. He was headed up the middle to field that ball with Sogard, but it hits off his pitcher, changes direction, and Sogard can't get it in time.
I don't know if this ball was going to make it up the middle to begin with, but a line drive off of his thigh that slowed it down. Off of his glove. It didn't even catch his thigh, but Sogard's going the other direction. He cannot stop, and you're thinking, get there, and he's safe. Easy, Kelly.
Kelly's got 2 infield hits tonight.
So the Tigers have their lead runner on here in the 8th inning. Here's Jose Iglesias. He can bunt as he pulls it back and takes ball 1. Charging from third was Donaldson.
Got Doolittle down there warming up again. He had some gas last night. He was letting it go.
We asked Bob Melvin about the 30 pitches he threw last night. He said it's not an issue. He's got plenty.
Iglesias gets the bunt down as Gray fields and throws to first. Sacrifice is complete as Kelly moves up to second base. On the sacrifice for Jose Iglesias. Now to get exclusive behind-the-scenes access and expert opinions from the biggest names in sports, check out Behind the Mic, powered by Ford, on thebleacherreport.com/behindthemic. Kelly into scoring position with 1 out here in the 8th inning.
Looks like Verlander might be out of the game.
You're not smiling down there if you're
he's
still
done.
in the ball game.
Yeah, he's already shut it down mentally.
Austin Jackson 0 for 3 in the game as he has struck out 3 times against Sonny Gray.
Jackson had 8 games this regular season with 3 or more strikeouts, so he is prone to strike out. Once he gets it going, it's tough to stop.
Jackson with a swing and a miss. Down 0-2. He's already struck out 3 times. Got to be feeling like, here we go again.
He had his shot at him, 3-0. Remember, he took a swing on a high 3-0 pitch, ended up punching out. Punch him out, throw him out. That was a big inning. 5th inning.
In the dirt outside, nicely blocked by Vogt. No advance for Kelly at second base.
Kelly can run. He's got good speed, so obviously they're going to force the A's, should there be a base hit, force them to throw him out.
The only guy that can't throw is Coco in center field. Cespedes got an arm not very accurate, and everybody knows about Reddick in right.
We saw that last night. The outfield assist is part of last night's game. The 1-2 pitch. Misses inside.
I think this is a pretty good pitch, but Stephen Vogt had a little trouble catching it. Watch Vogt's reaction, and he kind of boxed it up, and that kind of caused C.B. Buckner a little bit different look. It looked like it was a strike.
Probably was, but it was an ugly breaking ball.
Yeah.
And as a pitcher, you really don't want that.
Oh, yeah, right.
Well, I know.
You want it.
Sure, if he's going to give it to me.
2-2 is framed again by Vogt. Misses again, and it's a full count.
I thought that curveball looked better than the other one, and that shows up for a strike the pitch before. But that's what you're trying to do is away. You're not trying to leave that hook inside.
Yeah, that pitch 4 was a backup curveball, but it looked like it got the strike zone. I think because Vogt kind of boxed it up, it looked uglier than it really was.
That one drops in for strike 3. The night strikeout for Gray. The 4th time Austin Jackson has struck out tonight.
You knew he was going to throw a 3-2 hook.
Yeah, and Jackson can't do anything with it anyway. He leans away from this thing. This is not a great curveball. It's really a kind of a high curveball, but Jackson's struggling tonight.
But that's the way things go for him. We mentioned his 8 strikeouts, or 8 games with 3 or more strikeouts.
2 down, Kelly at second base, and Torrey Hunter the batter. 0 for 3 night for the veteran. He has grounded out, struck out twice, both times swinging. Up and away for ball 1. Sonny Gray tying his regular season high of 9 Ks. He's got the first 2 hitters in Jackson and Hunter 6 times. 6 of the 7 at bats they combined for.
See him pull that fastball. It looks like it's cutting a little bit, but he just doesn't want to make a mistake with it.
Doolittle's ready. It's interesting they got him up so quick. You wouldn't think they're going to use him until they get the fielder.
Hunter pops it up. Right side of the infield, Brandon Moss makes the catch. The Tigers threaten but do not score. 7.5 deep, scoreless in game 2. First postseason start for Sonny Gray. Through 8 innings, through 111 pitches, had 9 strikeouts, and gets out of that jam in the 8th inning. A hug from his catcher, Stephen Vogt. And a scoreless game to the bottom of the 8th inning. New pitcher on for the Tigers, Drew Smiley. Made 63 appearances during the regular season with a 2.37 earned run average. Alberto Callaspo pinch hitting for Eric Sogard to begin the inning, and that's strike 1.
Callaspo struck out against Smiley, first out of the 8th in last night's game.
See a lot of fastballs. You don't think that he throws that hard to use that percentage of a fastball. He's got some leverage, big tall guy throwing downhill, but boy, I tell you, Sonny Gray made a name for himself. Not that they didn't know that already going in, but early in his career, have a game like that in the postseason.
How about the matchup going up against Justin Verlander? Imagine him pitch for pitch. He is out of the game, and Glenn Balfour is already starting to throw down in the Oakland bullpen.
Sonny Gray was wanting to pitch on Friday nights for Vanderbilt. That was a big deal. No, this is a big deal.
There's Balfour, the closer for the A's. The 1-2 pitch. Aspo takes it up top for ball 2. 2-2.
Balfour's already talking to himself, and he's still down in the bullpen. He gets fired up.
Doesn't he?
Reminds me of you.
I just been talking to myself.
Fouled off to the right. We'll do it again. 2-2.
Kai Aspo 1 for 6 as a pinch hitter this year with Oakland. 1 for 9 overall, but his pinch hit for Oakland was a home run.
301 in the month of August for the Oakland A's. Lines this to left field. It'll get down to the corner. Kelly goes to get it, headed for second base is Kai Aspo, and the throw is not in time. A pinch hit double to start the bottom of the 8th for Alberto Kai Aspo.
Kai Aspo, he ropes this ball down the left field line. I thought this was going to be a double easy. You see fastball that ran back over the middle of the plate, and he smokes it down the line. He hit it so hard, Kelly got to it and made a decent play at second base, made it slightly close.
This will be interesting now to see if they have Chris Bunt batting from his weaker side, from the right side against the lefty.
He is 0 for 3 in the game as he takes strike 1. And like it said something to C.B. Buckmore, right at the bottom of the zone. In tight for ball 1.
You find it interesting he's not showing bunt?
Yeah, I do. If there's anybody that can bunt, it'd be Coco.
He only has 2 sacrifice bunts this year. He's a terrific bunter for base hits. Of course, we've talked about Cabrera and his lack of mobility at third.
A gaping hole between short and third. Ridiculous.
Chris with a swing and a miss. Very defensive, and he is down 1-2.
What a strange hack that was.
Looked like he was trying to shoot it to right field and tried to stay back as long as he could.
It was awkward, and it has him down 1-2.
Crisp 218 from this side of the plate. Boy, you've got to move that runner up 90 feet somehow.
Well, the A's had 21 bunts, second fewest in the major leagues. As the pitch misses inside, no different in their philosophy here in the postseason.
That was the first time Sonny Gray looked nervous all night, and he's out of the game.
Every time you have no control over something, it gets to you.
Aspo at second, nobody out in the 8th. Crisp will pop it up, foul ground as fielder heads over towards the dugout and makes the catch. And Coco Crisp fouls out for the first out here in the bottom of the 8th.
Coco just could not get the job done. He was thinking get the ball over the other way. It probably cost him the at bat.
One down for Jed Lowry. Lowry 0 for 3 in this game, 0 for 7 in the first 2 games of this ALDS.
Lowry, too, a switch hitter. But he's hit .305 against lefty pitching this year. This is his better side as far as average goes. He's got more pop as a left-handed hitter.
Down and in for ball one. Justin Verlander going the first 7 innings tonight. 4 hits, no runs. He walked a batter, struck out 11. Drew Smiley takes over in the 8th. They pinch a double for Alberto Callaspo. He stands at second after Chris fouled out. There's Rick Porcello up in the pen. Smiley bluffing off the backside again.
Smiley, for a guy that throws over 80% fastballs, we've seen a couple of sliders down and in.
A little bit low. Lowry in a good spot here, ahead in the count, 2-0.
Torrey Hunter is shortened up and right. In a pretty good spot right now. Should there be a base hit to get off a good throw to the plate.
Lowry fouls it back. Well, the Oakland A's in this series 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. They had runners at second and third when Verlander was able to strike out Stephen Vogt in the 7th inning. Outside for ball 3.
You got to believe Albuquerque is going to come in if Lowry reaches. Donaldson's on deck. Albuquerque with that wicked slider, tough on righties.
He's a slider waiting to happen.
(3-1) to Jed Lowry. And Lowry fouls it back. Full count now.
Boy, he got a pitch to do something with right there. He just didn't get there. That ball's middle.
Middle, and it was out over the plate. A perfect pitch to drive back up the middle. Boy, don't you have to cash in on a leadoff double? Tight ball game like this, and you've got some run producers. I don't care how many years you've managed, it never gets easy, does it?
Inside for ball 4, and Lowry will head on down to first base. Here comes Leland to make that change. And Albuquerque down in the pen, and Albuquerque will be in this game.
Yeah, you see Jim Leland wave to the man on the left side of the mound down there, so it'll be Albuquerque and that slider coming in to face Josh Donaldson.
Oakland has runners at first and second with 1 out. The pitching change from Oakland in a scoreless game in game 2. American League Division coverage on TBS, presented by T-Mobile. Last half of the 8th inning back at O.Co Coliseum in Oakland, California. A's have runners at first and second with one out. Al Albuquerque becomes the third arm used tonight for Jim Leyland.
You see the breaking balls there. Slider, slider, slider.
2 stints with the Tigers this season, appeared in a career high 53 games. This was December of 2011, had right elbow surgery to repair a stress fracture. Missed most of last year. Josh Donaldson, the batter, with 2 outs and 2 on. A 1-for-3 night for the A's third baseman. A single off Verlander back in the 4th inning.
Donaldson's been clutch for the A's all year long, coming up with big hits late in the ball game.
Donaldson with a swing and a miss.
Boy, he's letting it fly first pitch. Not one of the best sliders you've seen, and he had a bad swing at a curveball last time up to strike out.
He got a single on a 3-2 fastball in the 4th with 2 outs.
Sliding to his right was Avila. 1-1 to Donaldson. This inning started with a Callaspo pinch hit double. Crisp fouled out to Prince Fielder, and then Jed Lowry walked. So it's Callaspo at second, Lowry at first, 1 out here in the 8th.
Albuquerque doesn't have the greatest control in the world. He wants you to swing at the slider out of the zone.
Donaldson asks for time and backs out, gets it from Buckner.
Albuquerque, over his last 9 appearances, 8 2/3, 1 hit, and 11 strikeouts.
Donaldson down in the count 1-2 as he goes chasing again. That pitch up and away.
Almost identical to the first swing and miss.
The breaking ball is almost more like a cutter than it is a slider. Doesn't have a lot of depth to it.
Mentioned a big strikeout pitcher. 70 and 49 innings pitched. 155 in his 105 2/3 in his major league career. Ahead here 1-2, Josh Donaldson. And Donaldson fouls it back.
Yeah, he's flirting with danger up there.
3 bad ones.
He hasn't gotten it down where he wants it.
Now Villa's going to head out and talk to Albuquerque. A's would love to grab the lead here in the 8th inning. They have their closer, Grant Balfour, ready for the 9th. And with runners at second and third in the 7th. They're at first and second with 1 down here in the 8th. Donaldson strikes out for the second out of the 8th inning as Albuquerque gets him.
And he gets him with the good slider. He got lucky to get away with those sliders up out of the zone, and now he finally throws a good one down and away. A little feeble swing by Donaldson. He had his pitches to hit. He just missed them.
Yeah, it's a very difficult pitch to identify. Donaldson obviously frustrated. Another strikeout by the A's. That's 12 tonight, 28 in the first 2 games.
2 down in the 8th. Brandon Moss has struck out twice and walked, his 4th plate appearance of the night. And a swing and a miss for strike 1.
Boy, you know that's a good slider when somebody misses it by almost a foot.
And it's coming into a left-handed hitter. He swung right over the top of it.
There's strike 2. Moss didn't like it. He's down 0-2.
It's going to be a slider up and in. Not a very good one. That ball's out of the zone. He's going to bury this one in the ground, you would think.
Ball and 2 strikes now to Moss. I remember Albuquerque created some controversy in last year's ALDS. Fielded a comebacker off the bat of Yoenis Cespedes in game 2. The ALDS, the game tied 4-4. Actually kissed the ball before throwing it to first to end the inning. Tigers would go on to win.
I've never done that.
1-2 and a swing and a miss as Moss strikes out and Albuquerque out of the jam. Tigers out of the jam again. Head for the 9th. No score from Oakland. Ninth inning back at O.Co Coliseum. The closer for the A's in here, Grant Balfour, part of the rage. What has been a great season for Balfour as the closer for the A's. He had 10 career saves prior to last season. Never had thrown more than 4 in a season prior to 2012. Has 62 over the past 2 seasons. Miguel Cabrera leads it off and takes ball 1. This is the teeth of the Tigers' order here in the 9th inning. Cabrera, Fielder, and Martinez are expected. Here are the numbers for Grant Balfour. He was 38 out of 41 during the regular season. He's the fourth A's pitcher to have at least 38 saves in a season, joining Eck, who did it 4 times, Billy Koch, and Keith Vogt. As you see, Alberto Gallaspo staying in the game after he pinch hit for Sogard and doubled to begin the bottom of the 8th. There's Joaquin Benoit, closer for the Tigers, who we saw last night.
He's had some problems with his control the last, month of the season. Kind of lost it a little bit. He had it going on so well. He brings so much intensity out there.
Trio pitches in there for a strike, and it's 3-1. You've broken your team record, Eck, for consecutive saves converted with his 41st, which dated back to April. Streak ended at 44, the blown save against the Houston Astros.
There was a lot of 1-run saves going into that. None of these 3-run jobs.
Cabrera, after the 3-1, fouls it off to the right.
One of Balfour's blown saves this year came into the hands of the Tigers in that series in August 29th. He gave up a 4 spot, including a walk-off 3-run home run to Torrey Hunter. Outside of that blown save, the A's sweep the Tigers in the 4-game series in Comerica. But they got to Balfour for 4 in the bottom of the 9th.
Cabrera hits a fly ball to right field. Reddick was very deep, coming in now, and he'll get there for the first out of the 9th inning. And with more on Grant Balfour, check in with David Aldridge.
Yeah, Buck, that blown save is stuck in his craw for the last 5 weeks. As you mentioned, they were up 6-3 in the 9th inning. Miguel Cabrera was out of the game already with the abdominal injury, and he still gave up 4 runs to the Tigers on that walk-off by Hunter. And he said, look, I've been wanting to see these guys again. He said any boxer that loses a match wants an opportunity at a rematch with a chance to knock the other guy out. Well, he's got his chance right now, Don.
One down here in the 9th inning for Prince Fielder. And a swing and a miss.
Well, he came back from a 3-0 count to Cabrera. That was clutch.
Balfour dominant at home this season, an ERA of 1.98 in 36 home games, compared to 3.42 away from O.Co Coliseum. There's a fly ball out to left center field. Cespedes is calling and catching out number 2.
The one concern Jim and Leland has about his offense is they haven't hit any gappers and they haven't hit the ball out of the ballpark for a while now. They're getting beat on good fastballs.
Yeah, other than the 3 runs we saw in the first inning in last night's game that held up, they have not been able to do much.
They really haven't squared anything up. I mean, it's been kind of ugly for Detroit, not to take anything away from Sonny Gray.
Even going into last night's game, you look back and Dave Dombrowski has put together a team that's reliant on home runs and extra base hits.
Victor Martinez 0 for 3 tonight as he takes ball 1.
The Tigers in this series have 2 doubles. The only extra base hits they've put together, and they both came in the first inning in last night's game.
There's a strike. Oakland is the 4th major league team for Balfour. Started his career with the Twins.
He's worked his way to get this closer's job. He's paid his dues to get this job.
Stops in Milwaukee and Tampa Bay before joining the A's here in 2011. To right field, Reddick deep again and in the right spot as it turns out. A 1-2-3 9th for Balfour. The A's are coming up in the bottom of the 9th, trying to win this game too. Back at O.Co Coliseum in Oakland, California. No score as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Don Orsillo, Dennis Eckersley, Buck Martinez, and David Aldridge. As this crowd has been loud the entire game, the A's have certainly had their chances, especially in the latter portion of this contest. But here they come to bat in the bottom of the 9th. Neither team has a run. And it's Yoenis Cespedes who leads it off here in the 9th. Albuquerque back on the mound for Detroit. And that's outside for ball 1. Cespedes 1 for 3 as he singled in the 5th inning. Base hit to right field. Goes off Verlander.
Hit a tough pitch against Verlander in the 7th and lined it to the alley in right center that was run down by Torrey Hunter. He has 3 of the A's 8 hits in the 2 games.
He's had 8 walk-off wins this season, as this one is fouled back.
That was almost 9.
Well, he's waiting to launch, 2-0. Timing just a little off because it's a little slider.
Ball 3. 3-1 now.
I think there'd be a little letdown by Albuquerque after he punched out 2 guys to end the inning.
Cespedes with a monster swing, but can't get it. Full count now.
No matter what the count, slider, slider, slider.
Yeah, that's his bread and butter, and he has to stick with it.
They're guarding the line down there at third base. Cespedes hits it through the hole in the left side into left field, a base hit. He will take a wide turn at first, but retreat to the bag at first. And Cabrera, who is almost standing on the line at third base, that one gets through the hole, and the lead runner on in the 9th.
Well, Cabrera can't get to too many things anyway. Big hole between short and third. Like you said, Cabrera's playing the line. This ball's not even in his vicinity. Finds its way to left field. You wonder what's going to happen here. Cespedes, what you say, has 7 stolen bases. You wonder, they try to make something happen.
You would think they're playing at home. They can take a gamble. They know they're going to get at least one more at bat, no matter what happens.
Seth Smith singled back in the 5th inning, a 1 for 3 game. Over to first base, Cespedes back without a problem.
You're thinking slider down and in. You got a big hole between first and second.
Now that's the reason you might run right there, because that slider he will throw in the dirt a lot, especially when he's trying to go for that back foot of a left-handed hitter.
Check on Cespedes. The lead was not terribly large, and back again easily. Oakland has stranded 4 men in the last 2 innings. On the ground, foul, and this will even the count at 1-1.
Third straight inning, they've gotten their leadoff man aboard and haven't been able to do a thing with it, including a leadoff double last inning.
And they left Brandon Moss at third base in the 7th inning. They left Kai Aspo at second base in the 8th. Smith grounds it into right field. Cespedes is headed for third base as Hunter will get it back in. It's first and third with nobody out in the ninth. Smith quickly getting it by Prince Fielder at first base on a hot shot into right.
Fielder doesn't get a very good jump on this ball. She's slider down and in, not a very good one. He yanks this ball. You see a late attempt by Fielder. That ball was by him before he even moved. Cespedes goes to third easily.
Really run. That was no contest going first to third.
Another golden opportunity here for the Oakland A's. And a chance now to win game 2. Josh Ruddick 1 for 3 on the night. He had singled in the 7th inning off Verlander. And they're going to put him on the bases.
Really interesting. You got a left-hander warmed up down in the bullpen. And they're going to load the bases with nobody out. That's why the managers get the big bucks.
It's something that you do if you put so much pressure on the pitcher, bases loaded, but you have to have a force out at any bag.
Well, you got to believe that they're going to bring left-hander in to pitch to Vogt. It's very difficult to have a pitcher walk the man intentionally and then regroup again. But Jim Leyland hasn't made a move. Here he comes now. Vogt is going to come up and he's going to call. He wants the right-hander. He's going to bring Porcello in.
Looking for a ground ball.
Well, he doesn't want. He wants to keep Derek Norris on the bench. Norris has 3 pinch-hit home runs, so instead of going the left-hander and playing into Melvin's hand,
he likes that matchup better.
Yeah, he will go with Porcello, who's had a terrific year, but he's working out of the bullpen.
Winning run at third base. We step aside with a pitching change from Oakland. No score right now. There's been some great intensity tonight. Big plays on both sides. Some outstanding pitching performances for both starters, Verlander and Gray. But we've advanced here to the bottom of the 9th inning. Winning run 90 feet away for the Oakland A's here in game 2. As the bases are loaded. Rick Porcello into the game. Infield in all the way around for the Tigers.
Porcello made 29 starts this year, 3 relief appearances, and they moved him to the pen in the final series against the Marlins. He worked twice out of the bullpen in the final weekend of the season.
To get some practice to come in with the bases loaded and nobody out. I don't like it.
Stephen Vogt 0 for 3 in the game, striking out 3 times. Vogt takes strike 1.
Vogt, he hasn't put the ball in play all night long, but boy, he gave a good at bat last time up against Verlander.
He's never faced Porcello. Porcello's got that wicked two-seamer, and it's a dive bomber.
Can't do anything with that ball inside, that ball that comes back.
Vogt lines it into left field, a base hit. Cespedes will score, and the Oakland A's walk off with Game 2 of the ALDS.
What a big hit by Vogt. Punched out the first 3 times up. Got a pitch he could handle, hit a bullet to left field. What a night. Caught a shutout, got the game-winning hit.
How about the combination of Sonny Gray pitching 8 innings, matching Verlander pitch for pitch, and Stephen Vogt, his 17th big league RBI, a walk-off RBI to win it.
A nasty sinker down middle, and he stays on it and laces a ball over the reach of Iglesias into left field. Cespedes scores on it. Cespedes had a big night for them. He should score that run.
So many chances late in this game for the A's to push across the first run. They do it and win Game 2 in dramatic fashion tonight from O.Co Coliseum. Let's check in with the hero of the night, with David Aldridge.
Well, Steven, you found that sinker, and you got enough of it to get in, right?
Absolutely, yeah. He's got a really good sinker, and never faced him before, so I wanted to make sure I saw it one, you know. Fortunately, I was able to get one over the plate and get the job done.
You waited a long time to get here to the majors. Your old mate from Sacramento, Sonny Gray, you guys had an incredible, oh boy. You were saying?
Well, the mic is now broken.
Well, that's
apparently thanks to the shower he just got.
I'll tell you, that's something that the A's did all year last year. You see the celebrations, a lot of walk-off wins last year. And boy, did they needed this game so badly. They had their chances. They let it get away, but Vogt came through at the end. And you can't say enough about Sonny Gray.
Sonny Gray set the tone for this ball game. He matched Verlander pitch for pitch. And how about Stephen Vogt? What a dream opportunity for Stephen Vogt. He waited a long time to get to the big leagues, and he delivers a series-evening RBI single in the bottom of the ninth.
Well, the last 2 Oakland playoff victories have been walk-off wins, and they've both been here in Oakland. We look at the totals for tonight's game. Verlander and Gray pitching marvelously in this game. Neither part of the decision in the end. And Stephen Vogt with a walk-off single, as the Oakland A's even this series at a game apiece. Our final score again, the A's won, the Tigers nothing. For Buck Martinez and Dennis Eckersley and David Aldridge and the rest of our crew, I'm Don Orsillo saying goodnight from Oakland. Tomorrow on TBS, it's Game 3 between the Cardinals and the Pirates, followed by the Braves traveling to LA to face the Dodgers in Game 3. Now stay tuned for the postseason show on TBS, presented by Johnny Walker. Remember to drink responsibly. Now it's sent it to Keith Olbermann in the Atlanta studios.